Is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete of the Month. Hannah is a junior at Crest and is the daughter of Wayne and Paylene Merritt. Hannah plays volleyball, soccer, and is on the swim team. She has a grade point average of 4.59. Her advanced courses include government, U.S. history, psychology, human geography, biology, language, and composition. Also calculus and literature. Hannah is the student body president and president of the National Honor Society and member of the Beta Club. She attends Macedonia Baptist Church of Kingstown. Hannah serves as a student fellow at the Math Academy and hosted a blood drive at her church. She also volunteers for the American Legion World Series and is involved in the Community Potato Picking Project. After graduation, Hannah plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill and major in journalism and creative writing. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship.
Christmas has arrived at Kurt's Premium Outlet in Eastridge Mall in Gastonia. They've got what you need for Christmas. All kinds, shapes, and sizes of beautiful Christmas trees, including pre-lit trees ready to go. Also outside lighting, wreaths, garland, and more. And don't forget about their 4th anniversary sale going on now. Buy a sofa and get a love seat free. Available in many different colors. Yes, Christmas has arrived at Kurt's Premium Outlet at Eastridge Mall on North New Hope Road in Gastonia. Like them on Facebook too. They've done it again. The Captain's Cap Family Fish House in Gastonia has once again been voted best of the best by you. There's a reason folks keep coming back, and there's a reason they continue being voted on best of the best by the people in Gaston County. And this year they're celebrating their 41st year of business, and they want to say thank you for your support. And right now they have several employment opportunities. That's the Captain's Cap Family Fish House, 3140 Linwood Road in Gastonia, online at thecaptainscap.com. Having trouble getting your oil changed during the week? If so, we've got good news for you. All Ray Tire in Cherryville, Shelby, Forest City, and Morganton is now open on Saturdays. You don't have to wait in line for a so-called inexpensive quick lube. Now you can save time and money at All Ray Tire Center. Family owned and operated with 4 area locations on East Main Street in Cherryville, West Main Street in Forest City, West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, and on Carbon City Road in Morganton. That's All Ray Tire Center. Tune in for Down Home with Milton Baker, Monday through Friday from 9 to 11 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
My picture up, so I'll go ahead. Yeah, I mean,
welcome
to another
the Dark Knight.
Yeah, just want to thank Shelby Heating and Air for bringing you Saturday morning sports talk. Give them a call for 704-487-7877. Check them out online, ShelbyHeating.com.
JP, I really don't know where your camera is, so I don't know what to do.
Welcome to another Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin, Tom, and Terry.
I don't know where your camera is. It should be plugged in. Everybody else is plugged in.
The light is on. I don't know.
Your light's on?
Yeah.
Tom's not Rob Roop, so we'll skip over that one for right now. But good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Kevin Hastings here along with Tom Cinefani, Terry Reinhart, and JP. He's in there somewhere.
That's right. The day after Veterans Day, y'all.
Day after
Started
Veterans
off
Day.
with one of my hats here. The
That's
National
great.
Guard.
It is a happy Veterans Day weekend to all our veterans. Sorry that it's had so much rain yesterday. I know that kind of put a damper on some of the parades that some towns wanted to have, but thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. I think that word gets left out a little bit too. A lot of people thank for service, but service is sacrifice, and thank you for sacrificing your freedom to protect ours.
Exactly. I know as I sat back and I remember stuff, I know my uncle, he was in the Army, and my grandpa, he was in the Navy.
Yeah.
So as they grew up.
And my father was in the Army, and my future son-in-law is in the Naval Reserve. So I appreciate their service to our country. And he had drill last weekend. So I just appreciate all the folks out there. And I know the Burns community we probably want to recognize our ROTC colonel from a few years back passed away last weekend. That was Charles Harris, who did a really great job for that school, and has got a lot of people to join the military and got some folks into military schools and things. Did a great job while he was there, so we appreciate his service. And thinking about him, he's going to have a memorial service in Forest City next week. In case anybody's listening, they've got the arrangements there. The school can let you know what the arrangements are, but they'll be in Forest City next Saturday, I believe, at noon.
Yeah, Commander Smith at West Lincoln, glad for you being there.
Yeah,
our ROTC.
Yeah, our ROTC, Colonel Johnson does a great job, and we have Sergeant Keller back, who's come back from retirement and working a couple of days because, can't find anybody, Terry. So
I know.
We've got somebody to come back, and we just appreciate those guys and what they do with our cadets at school.
Well, happy Saturday, everybody. It should be a little less wet than the last 2 days. So
yeah, it will be. It's yesterday we had that break. Terry, it rained, and I said, I better get on my roof and clean up my gutters. And sure enough, the bands came through about 1 or 2 o'clock. I mean, it looked like a hurricane outside it wasn't long lasting, but it was pretty good rain yesterday.
It was pretty good. I had left and took my truck, have a oil change.
All right, probably for free.
I'm telling you. But anyway, when on my way back, I never run into it until I got over there around Highway 10. Near Fred T. Ford, and then it started pouring rain all the rest of my way home.
Oh, man, It came down. It came down in the afternoon. It kind of ruined. It's like, you get a day off from school. You take a day off to work, Terry. If you're like me, you got to get all your work done because you never miss work for some reason.
Yeah, that's the same with me.
Yeah, so I didn't get as much yard work done, but glad they got these football games in. Most of them went with Thursday, unless you had turf like Kings Mountain. They went with Friday, but the weather kind of it was pretty weather all week though.
Yes.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it's pretty weather to the weekend. Of course, that's what it worked out last weekend. It was pretty weather to the weekend. So what do we talk about first? You got to talk about your NASCAR championship.
yes, we are. Joey
right.
Logano wins the 2023 NASCAR championship out in Phoenix. So it's his second one, right, Terry?
Yes.
I do got a fun stat for you. This isn't Logano related for the most part. It's kind of Logano related, but this is Rodney Childers put it out there, so he was more like talking about Harvick. So career all time. Last week I mentioned this. So let's back up a sec and look at last week's stats. Remember last week I mentioned this year's average finish where they were. So Chastain finished average 10.55. Remember that number right there, okay? 10.55. Christopher Bell finished 12.22. Average finish. Logano's average finish was 13.3. And Chase Elliott's average finish was 13.3. So, again, to refresh, Chastain 10.5. Christopher Bell 12.2. Logano 13.3. And Chase Elliott 16. So, 10, 12, 13, 16. So, the all-time list, which was put out there by NASCAR, of course, put out. This is Ronnie Childers retweeting it. So, Terry, all-time finish, so 10.55 by Chastain. I know it's 1 year, and obviously it's been beat before, but that would be the all-time best average finish if he did it over a career. 13.3, Logano, where he was averaging, is actually better than his career is 13.9, so he was slightly better this year. Kyle Busch is 13.8 career. That would put him 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th all-time in career finish. So 3, 6, I want to make sure I got that right. 7, 8, 9, 10. No, Kyle Busch would be 11th. I'll count one more time. Get my counting on this one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11. Logano, 12. So Logano's sitting at 12th average finished all-time. Mark Martin, 13th. Keselowski's 14th, Terry. And then you got Kyle Larson, about the youngest one out there, at 16th. But top 3, Terry, if you got a guess, who would be your top 3 career average finishes?
Richard Petty.
He's number 2 at he's number 3.
Is he?
At
David
11
Pearson.
at 11.3 is Richard Petty. Okay?
David.
Remember we said 10.55 was for Chastain. David Pearson is number 1.
Okay.
David Pearson is all-time 11.0. So, Tom, your best driver in NASCAR that's ever raced finishes 11th place on every race. So when your guy finishes 15th, you can't be too mad at him, I guess. But yeah, David Pearson's number 1. All right, Terry, number 2. You got 1 and 3.
Yeah, and I would have to say Jimmy Johnson.
Wrong.
Okay, if it's not Jimmy Johnson, it's Jeff Gordon.
Gordon is 4th.
Yeah, Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, you're
Well,
man.
I
Earnhardt was 2nd.
Yeah, I wasn't going to give him all the credit.
Pearson is 11.0, Earnhardt 11.1, Petty 11.3. They're the only ones in the 11s. In the 12s, Jeff Gordon comes in 4th, Cale Yarborough 5th. And just at those top 5 alone, Terry, that's pretty much most of your NASCAR championships, not counting Jimmy Johnson, isn't it? I mean, you got 4. How many Yarborough win? He win 4? Didn't Gordon? Wasn't that what they was? I had to look at it. He won 6.
I think he won 3.
Oh, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
So Yarborough definitely won more than 2. I know that. So Yarborough, Gordon won 4, Petty 7, Earnhardt 7. You know how many Pearson ended up with off the top of your head there, sir? I'll Google all this in a second. But just a ton of wins with that. So with that top 5, Kevin Harvick was 6th at 12.7. Chase Elliott is 7th at 13.0. And Jimmy Johnson was 8th at 13.1. Denny Hamlin, the only one without a championship, I think, here. Oh, Carl Edwards, did he win a championship? He didn't, did he?
No.
Jimmy kept those 2 from getting championships, Carl and Denny, at 9 and 10 there. Kyle Busch, like I said, was 11.
Let's not forget Richard Petty late in his career wasn't very successful. That might have blew his up. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because I remember his last race where his car caught on fire. He just was not having a whole lot of success late in his career, so I'm sure that blew his average up a little bit. I wonder if it was under 10 at one time.
If you take off the last maybe 4 years of his career,
it might be
I guarantee it'd been way down.
Yeah. He didn't win a whole lot in the 80s, though, either, did he, Kevin?
No.
I was getting ready to say not even really in the 80s.
Well, I put wins, and it's just...
When was his last championship?
I'm
off the top of my head. It had to be in the late 70s, wouldn't you think, Terry? It'd been. I don't think he won one in the 80s.
Listen, champions. I'm pulling it up for you.
He's pulling it up.
All right, so last one, Richard Petty was 79.
Yeah, I knew it was late 70s. Like that.
See if it don't show average finish on that. I don't believe. Let me make sure. Start. No, I don't show average finish on this list, but...
Well, I sent y'all a text on what I thought about it. I was glad. I didn't care who won as long as there's one of them 3.
You said some mean things about somebody.
I never said a word.
Why don't you like Ross Chastain, Terry?
Well...
They're just race car drivers.
That's all he is.
The same reason why you don't like running quarterbacks.
You just don't.
I mean, why are you?
And I don't like multiple quarterbacks neither.
But why is Kevin entitled to his opinion, but you're not entitled to yours?
Terry hates a guy. He didn't say he couldn't win a championship because running quarterbacks don't win
that is his constitutionally protected opinion.
There's a difference between hate and factual.
There's a lot of things that I don't like. Okay.
Right. It's just so random. So let's see. Yarborough 3, Terry.
That's what
he is. Earnhardt 7. I Waltrip 2. Is that it?
Yeah, probably it.
82 was his last one. People forget Terry Labonte won 2. I was looking for multiple winners while we're at it. Tony Stewart was 2, Jimmy Johnson.
Kyle Busch.
Here's the thank you. I finally found the list. All right. Richard Petty, Jimmy and Dale, of course, with 7. Jeff Gordon 4. Lee Petty, David Pearson, Cale Yarborough, Darrell Waltrip, Tony Stewart with 3. Herb Thomas, Tim Flock, Buck Baker, Joe Weatherly, Ned Jarrett, Terry Labonte, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Red Byron, Bill Rexford, and let's see, Rex White. No, I skipped the line. Rex White and Byron. Let me back up. Logano was the last one that won 2. Byron, Rexford, and White won 1. So Logano, Busch, Labonte, Jarrett, Weatherly, Baker, Flock, and Herb Thomas with 2. So that's the group that Joey Logano joins with multiple NASCAR championships.
It's a big thing once you get to 3 and up. You know what I'm saying? Because then you put yourself in a select few instead of like a whole bunch of.
He's in the top 17 right now, Terry.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. But once you get to number 3, then you've got yourself in an elite group from 3 up.
He's already
and that's what you want.
Hall of Famer then, right now, isn't he?
Yes.
2.
Oh, yes. Probably. More than
I mean,
I find it hard for it not to be. As many as we're letting in, that's the only thing that bothers me about NASCAR. They let in too many. They need to slow that down.
I know this is an objective question or whatever, but Logano, this generation, Terry, he seems to me to be about the most consistent driver. And what I mean by that is, so I know you'll remember, if you remember the Jimmy Johnson days, if he had a top 10 car, you had to look out because he might win the race every week.
Mm.
But Logano, if he has a top 10 car, he's going to finish top 3 every week. He might not win it every week. So there's a slight difference in being the greatest, maybe, and then in the middle of the pack, or 17 and 15. But what I'm trying to compliment him without saying, I don't think he's there. But every week, every track, you can almost pick him to be. He might be top 5 this week, especially if his car's good. He don't really mess up. Like Jimmy would not mess up and win almost every race, but he doesn't mess up and just stays there. He's there. If somebody else messes up, he's definitely going to win.
One of the things that I always look at when I'm looking at them is when it goes over and it shows how many top 10s you have. If you're consistently up there in that top 10, I mean, you're going to have an opportunity at the end of the year, to win a lot, whether you win a race or not. I mean, because you have to consider Kyle Busch this year won a dirt track race that he really shouldn't have won. I mean, he's in 3rd place. And he gets a victory there of one that he should have never had,
That's another Terryism. He won when he never should have.
The all-time best finish. The all-time best finish.
I'm talking about my own guy here. I mean,
I don't have the whole list here, and I'm gonna try to find one, Terry, real quick though. But the best finish ever, 7.62 by Mr. Petty.
I can see that.
Hey, Lee Petty,
not
Richard. Lee Petty has the best career average finish or in a season at 7.62.
I got to see the end of his career, not the start of it, because they said he was pretty, dominant. But, I mean, Richard come out pretty darn good at the end of his when he got in. But Lee Petty was, if you go back and look at books and stuff like that, where I have to learn some of my history from that, is Lee Petty was one of the people that was named all the time,
Well, Tom, in 1967, 48 starts, Richard Petty won 27 races.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He had 40.
But I'm going to tell you, though,
40
back
top
then,
10s.
Here's your problem back then.
38 top 5s.
You could cheat back then.
Well, it wasn't necessarily cheating. It was the points that you had more money than everybody else had, because some of them races back then.
Well, that's the same
your
thing as
leader,
today.
Well, your lead. No, well, you couldn't do that today. I'm talking about your leader would be like 4 to 6 laps ahead of the next guy.
That's a little different.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But as far as whoever's got the most money is going to win. NASCAR also throws a lot of random flags now, caution flags now to fix that, which kind of don't mind. I mean, but how do you have every race just finish with green, white, yellow? Why are we sitting for 400 miles if that's what we're going to do? So there's different ways to look at that. So anyway, 38 top 5s in that season, Terry. So that was a pretty good year. Jeff Gordon says this is the number 2 most dominant season. This is a little bit closer to our era. 13 wins and 33 starts in 1998. 26 top 5s in 98. So there you go with that one too.
Yeah, mid '90s, Gordon was really good. Mid to late '90s, he was good.
Earnhardt's best season, it says 11 wins and 29 starts, 1987, 21 top fives, 24 top tens. All right, Terry. So, I don't know what. Yeah, I guess you can pick a champion for next year, but who cares? But what? Any other final thoughts on? Has he announced a sponsor yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
That's Logano's second title, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
second.
He tied Kyle
Tom,
Busch.
where was
now.
you the last 5 minutes? That's
I know.
exactly what we just talked
Yeah,
about.
I know. I just wanted to. I'm still waking up. I was like, wait a minute, I heard that right. That was second title. That's right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so it puts him in the 17. Only 17 drivers have won more than one title in NASCAR history. So
I'm just glad Chastain didn't win. It was a great week.
so
Right. Thank you.
All right, JP, you ready to go? All right, let's take a break. We come back real quick. Let me give you the scores from last night and the matchups for this week on in high school football. We got. Let's see. I guess I can pull it up for the folks watching at home. Got our smartboard logo. I got to turn that on, so take it off. All right. Kings Mountain wins last night 42-0 over the Smoky Mountain Mustangs. They'll host the West Charlotte Lions, who won 56-7 over High Brighton. Ledford wins 42-28 over Terry's. Is that Terry? Is that what you're wearing? No. Yeah. Terry's a Northwest Cabarrus fan this week.
This is
Northwest Cabarrus.
Pop Warner out of Winston-Salem.
My sign right here says Northwest Cabarrus Trojans. Your shirt says Northwest Trojans.
No, it's just Pop Warner out of
Same
Winston-Salem.
colors, same everything. Terry, your team got beat by Ledford last night.
Okay.
42-28. Ledford goes to Denver next week, where the Mustangs will host the Panthers. They won 35-7 over Tuscola on Thursday night. Crest wins, Tom, if you didn't know, 42-15.
I wouldn't have known.
South Point. 74
How about
points
that?
on Dudley.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say something while we mention that. I'm watching scores coming in. Now, Tom. When I keep scores and I'm at a game, this person had to be getting it from somebody to keep it updated, but somehow he missed a point in the second quarter.
He did?
And he comes back out when the game is over and changes it because he put 75. And then all of a sudden it goes, whoops, sorry, back to 74 because he missed a point in the second quarter.
So he had it wrong.
Forgot to mark a free
For
throw.
the whole time.
Forgot to mark a free
For
throw.
a long time.
The whole game, it was off
So
by 1 point.
I was like, okay.
So we were reporting fictitious scores, Tom, is what he's trying to tell us. Fake news is KTC
Fake
Broadcasting.
news.
Fake
Fake
news.
No, it was good. It wasn't on us.
Eastern Guilford up 62-40 or win 62-42 at Irwin. They'll travel to West Henderson this week, who had another both those battles up to close to 100 points. That one 98 and that one 104 in the other one. West Henderson wins 56-42 over West Row Ann. So West Henderson will host Eastern Guilford next week. In the 2A, Reidsville Rams 51-25 win over Providence Grove.
Pretty good.
They're number 1, and they will host number 8, the Chase Trojans, who are undefeated on the season after beating Robinson
Chase, you
35-14.
better score 50.
Hey, Mark.
Terry, I think you're underestimating this Chase team.
I'm not underestimating. I'm just saying they better score 50. That's all I'm saying.
They're capable of it. They're
Okay.
capable
Well,
of putting a lot of points
that's what's
up.
in front of you.
Well, their defense, Terry, has only given up 10 points a game. Chase's
They'll
defense.
give up way more than that this coming week.
Way more. Way more, he says, Tom.
Destroyed. That's the word he hadn't used yet. Destroyed.
Last year,
Destroyed.
Reidsville did score 50 on them. And then I think Chase scored 24 or 30. Might have scored 35 on them as well. So it may be the same thing with that one. We've got Maiden Blue Devils win 46-13 over Mount Pleasant. And they'll host the Bunker Hill Bears.
How about them?
Who won 41-40
Bunker
in a
Hill.
comeback
From
win
behind.
Bunker
over
Hill.
Community School of Davis. And then Terry, 3 points separated these teams last time. Last 2 years, Maiden's been on top. Can the Bunker Hill Bears pull the upset this time in the playoffs?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, last time they played, it was 36-33. Maiden, with a victory. So, hey, you don't think they're ready for this game? You know Bunker Hill is because we almost had you. But I'm going to tell you how this works. And this is me sitting on the backside as hearsay. This is what happens in the past. I remember last year when, I'm just saying.
What did that mean?
Well, I'm just saying. I'm going to tell you. It's like
I
last
have
year.
no idea.
If y'all would listen to
We were
me,
trying
it
to.
gets explained.
Okay.
All right. Like last year, West Lincoln played Maiden in the regular season, and we lost when Maiden scored at the last minute to beat us.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we come back to the playoffs, Maiden rolled. So be careful here because Bunker Hill, you might be ready, but Maiden always has another notch. They stop some of the stuff that you did before. So they readjust.
Bulldogs win 42-0 against the Shelby Golden Lions. They'll host the Salisbury Hornets the next Friday night, who won 48-13 over Pine Lake Prep. And Tom, you mentioned Salisbury beat y'all a couple years ago, and they've knocked out Maiden. I think maybe last year, the year before too, as well. So they've knocked out a couple of our teams, and Shelby. But every time they run the Golden Lions, they've been destroyed by that one. But besides that, Bulldogs will host the Hornets this week. Tom, up in Long.
Yeah, it was a 48-yard field goal as time expired.
Mm-hmm.
They got a long pass and then a 48-yard field goal and beat us 10-7. And that was the day where that was supposed to be Cameron Sweezy's last game. He got hurt, and I think Ben Mooney had. I think that was his first start against them. Played them tough. We had some really good players that year too. Some of the guys still playing now that were playing as sophomores back then. But I tell you, I haven't looked at them too much. I got to see what they like to do. I'm going to go back and look at some of the huddle film, but I like our guys' chances. I like the fact that we're not one-dimensional, that we can run the football and we can throw the football, and we're playing good defense. So, I mean, in all phases of the game, and, PAT's perfect, 6 for 6 last week. Recovered 2 onside kicks. So, in all phases of the game, you're hitting your stride when you really need to hit your stride. And relatively healthy. Got a couple of guys dinged, but especially the skill players on offense are healthy.
No matter how bad of a year the Golden Lions had compared to what they usually have, Tom, when you look at that scoreboard and see Salisbury gave up 13 to Pine Lake Prep, and you guys shut out the explosive offense that is the Golden Lions offense. I mean, you talk about your offense, you didn't say anything about your defense, and
I did.
We've a little bit. We've seen a little bit over the years though that the defenses are the ones that win the championships. And looking at you only give up 113 points now in 12 games. Yeah, that right there is going to be a huge key. If you don't turn the ball over and y'all play defense like that, your offense almost. I mean, you can score 14 and win that game.
And
2 nights ago,
the run defense was good, especially on first down. I mean, your run defense has to be good on first down. We had a number of tackles for loss. We did, like I said, we had a couple guys dinged, but we ran a little rotation on our defensive line and it worked out. I mean, we're okay because we got some guys we can rotate through that defensive line, and we've talked about our linebackers. Kid like Marshall McGowan who's transferred in this year. I mean, he's been a great run stopper this year. So in our secondary, I think we've done pretty good job covering the wide receivers. There's been a few deep ones thrown on us, but for the most part, safety coming over like they're supposed to do and helping out on those deep throws. That's what happened every time Lee tried to go deep. We had 2 on the guy. A couple times they got single coverage, they got somebody isolated, but I think we did a pretty good job covering the deep throws too. So, defensive side of the ball, I feel pretty confident. And you're right that if we shut out Shelby, and they did give up 13 to Pine Lake Prep. Now, I don't know anything about Pine Lake Prep, Kevin. I know you guys in the postgame show maybe know a little more, but I like our chances. Plus, we're at home. Don't have to travel. Don't have to get that charter bus, which is a pain in the rear. I like our chances there at Ron Green Stadium.
What's the most points you've given up this year?
Kings Mountain 20. I think we have 27.
That one, that was 27-0. Do you know?
So he asked me which one we give up the most. He goes besides.
Well,
that.
No, I know that. I got that one, Tom. I was just trying to look as far as that's the one you lost.
That's the one we lost. We gave up to Crest, probably 21. I can't remember exactly what it was to Crest, and then I don't think Highland scored on us.
Watauga 28.
Watauga got 28. Yeah, that's right.
And they're a 4A school. You got to remember that, but you also put 40. So you gave up 12 to Crest.
And Watauga, are they still alive?
I don't know.
You don't have them on the board, do you?
Let's see. No, we don't put the 4As up. They play tonight, 6:00. You want to go up there?
No.
Why not?
Just don't.
Go watch a ball game, Tom.
I know.
No.
Take the family to Boone.
But you know what? I know that they do have radio coverage. I might listen in a little bit. I know they have some radio coverage. They had a pretty good crew that came in and did their game. They were good to work with. A lot better than some of the other ones we'd work with. But, yeah, I'd like to see if the Fighting Chris Blantons can pull off a win.
Are you talking about the WCSL crew?
No, I'm not talking about that.
Was you saying you can't work with Danny and Matt when they come?
No, that's not. No, not them. No, there's been some though, Kevin. I will not mention some, but it's not Danny and Matt. It's some of those guys come in there and they kind of act the fool in your press box, and it burns. You're not in your own little separate room. You go to Shelby, you're in your own little separate room over there, but it burns. You're out there. And it's just, you got some idiots.
Well, here's my prediction. 35-14 Bulldogs next week.
I like that prediction.
Monroe, 55-7 over the Lincoln on Wolves. They'll travel to East Surrey, who won in a squeaker over Hendersonville Bearcats, 21-16. East Surrey, the 2 seed, so if Burns wins out, this will be your last home game, Tom, unless Monroe wins. Then the Redhawks would come to Lawndale. And then, so y'all could finish up. If everybody wins out, the high seeds wins out, Burns would finish at home Friday with Salisbury, at East Surrey, at Reedsville State Championship. It could be your path. Now, if Reedsville gets upset by Chase or Maiden or Bunker Hill, you guys would host the Western Finals if you make it that far. So you got a 25% chance there.
Getting down to the nitty-gritty now, though. The first 2 games, you look at a lot of these scores, they're not competitive. Now, you get to the third round, everybody's pretty good. Everybody's pretty good. So don't expect a cakewalk. I hope it's as easy as you say it is, but we'll see.
We're talking about your defense. You got the second-best defense in the area. You've given the second least number of points.
Burns will have to go to Monroe?
No.
Okay, they'll play them at home. Yeah. So there you go. That'd be good for them.
That would be good. If Monroe can get by East Surrey. And Monroe's pretty good. They're pretty good every year.
They're pretty good. Surrey. So just defensive wise, Tom, only 6 teams have given up less than 200 points this year. States was one of them. They were eliminated. If they'd have played this week, would have gave it up. So only 5 active teams now that give up less than 200. South Point at 178, Kings Mountain at 131, Chase at 126, and you guys at 113, and then East Lincoln's give up 60.
Yeah. And we talk about South Point, they give up 41 right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what,
rolled.
It's a collision. It's going to be a collision course between East Lincoln and Kings Mountain.
Yes.
I think they're on a collision course. I mean, I think Kings Mountain will take care of West Charlotte, I believe. And then I have to think that it's going to be East Lincoln and Ledford, isn't it? That's going to be a tough game. Ledford's
tough.
Good. Ledford's good. I've looked at some of them because they played Moorhead, and I think they put 60 or 70 up on Moorhead. So I mean, Moorhead's not very good, but I think that's going to be if East Lincoln can get by Ledford. Now, it's not going to just be show up, play, and beat them. I think that's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be a competitive between Kings Mountain and West Charlotte. I just don't think it is. I was listening to some of the stuff you said, some of their common opponents, Kevin, and it seems like that does favor Kings Mountain next week.
Yeah, I think they beat West Meck 7-0, and Ashbrook beat them 14-9. So
Ashbrook beat West Charlotte.
No, Ashbrook beat West Meck.
Oh, okay.
Who 14-9?
Who play? Okay.
But West Charlotte beat West Meck 7-0. So you could compare West Charlotte to maybe Ashbrook. I would in that sense, or maybe a little better than Ashbrook, because Ashbrook had a competitive team. They just couldn't. They didn't have the complete team this year.
Name me your top 5 again on defense.
On defense
that you said.
178 is South Point. 4th would be Kings Mountain at 131. 3rd Chase 126. 2nd Burns at 113. And East Lincoln at 60.
And that's what I'm talking about. When you mention that and you go back and look, these teams are still playing.
All of our championship teams have give up less than 200 points. So I just know that for a fact just by doing this over the years. So you have a championship defense. You guys,
if you got Kings defense, you can be in every game.
I worry about South Point's defense there, Terry. Let's say if Dudley remotely slowed down the Red Bone, they're in a ball game with 41 points, right? They didn't even slow it down at all.
I don't think they stopped it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
If they remotely stopped it 3 or 4 times,
I've always said this. Now, when you play them, if you've played it before, you can adjust. You can understand.
We talked about
but
that
if
last
you
night.
have, it's not going to happen.
If you can't play assignment football, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Dudley's, I think, best linebacker, or one of them was online talking about. He was a sophomore, and I was like, that's not going to work.
No,
Now,
you gotta
they played Crest earlier.
South Point won 35-12, 35-14.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Crest, all of their losses this year, they gave up exactly, I think, 35 points in all theirs. So that one might be, Tom, that game might be a lot like that Crest Shelby game shootout for Crest. Like, and they were, Crest defense has been shutting a lot of people out recently.
Well, I'm not going to say anyway because Crest has got better as the year has went along.
Right. So my biggest concern with Crest is that, yes, the Crest system and Crest program have played this team and played this.
Yeah, multiple
they
times.
know it. But does Sosaby? He's not been playing South Point.
Yeah.
So that he saw it the first time.
Yeah.
What will his adjustments be along with the guys who are experienced against it? Will they have a good talk and be like, hey, coach, this is what we like. What do you want to do? I think the adjustments they make could make it closer. We'll see how. I think Crest, their receivers definitely they got more explosive there, Tom. But it's just I think it's going to be a defensive. It always is with South Point. All right, we talked about that last night. Go ahead, Terry.
Okay, well, the thing I'm looking at, when I see adjustments and I see how people play, I still remember when Shelby had their linebackers about 15 yards off the line of scrimmage playing South Point one time, where they hit the holes. They saw it coming and they hit the holes.
Did you hear us talk about that last night?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When Steve came in, I asked him about that because they had brought that up how they want to play the line, and they said they like to back the lineman up 2 yards
so they could see.
And what they don't want is because we watched highlights of South Point's offense, Tom. So you got 4-5 linemen, right?
Right.
How many defenders you want to put up there? You just give me a number, 4 or 3, 4.
You talking about in the box total?
Yeah, no, defensive line. Not
5 defensive line.
If you put 5 on 5, hat on hat, right? They're going to chop every one of those. Okay, so watching the video that we were showing the video, every person that had a person in front of them took one step and dove at their ankles. Everyone on the play. The guys that aren't covered, they were hunting linebackers. So however you line that up, that's how they're going to just chop straight down on it. And so that's why they wanted to back them up because they couldn't chop them because they had to take 2 yards. You could get around them or blow them off the ball if they're standing up.
Right,
and they don't want to be standing up.
I see.
And so that's their goal. And I brought up Demarion Petty and those guys a few years ago. I like seeing every time I've seen South Point get beat, somebody in the middle has to penetrate. I don't care if they make the tackle or not. They have to make them move. So if they want to go to the guard, make them go to the tackle.
Yeah.
And that guy up the front, I would put the 2 biggest guys I got on each side of the center, and then however else the defenders. I'm not an expert on guarding defending the run. That's just me watching over the years, seeing the teams. When Forest View beat them, I was in the house. When Crest and India and Burns have beat them, they've blown up that middle.
I can't believe it still lets you chop block in high school. Seriously though, seriously.
They're not really doing that, Tom.
What's that?
They're just blocking.
Oh yeah.
That's not what they say, Terry.
It's legal blocks.
I can't believe it lets you do that.
You said he is.
But the biggest guy on this
he's
whole
the flip
team,
flopper. The biggest flip flopper on rules, issues.
the biggest guy on this team though is that quarterback. Because
he ain't. Have you seen their right tackle?
I'm not. I know that. I agree. But that guy's the one running the show. He knows when to keep it, when to pull it. Give it.
All right, JP. Who's your favorite win NASCAR championship next year? Don't know.
Kyle Busch. Go ahead,
That
JP.
is not the answer.
It's not going to be Logano.
Richard Petty.
Jimmy has just as good of a chance of winning.
It's not
going
going to be. It's not going to be Logano. It's not going to be Logano.
Back to back. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Check out the Fall Service Call Special from Shelby Heated and Air. Shelby Heated and Air is now offering a Fall Service Call Special of just $55. But that's not all. Get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heated and Air discount on qualifying systems. Call today at 704-487-7877 and schedule your $55 service call appointment. Shelby Heated and Air. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. Small Town Christmas returns to Falston Saturday, November 19th. Mark your calendar to be there. It's fun for the entire family. Do your Christmas shopping early at area Falston merchants. Plus, vendors will be set up in the parking lot at the historic Stammy Event Center from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. Vendors also set up at Oliver's Hardware and Garden Center and at Above the Bar Dance Studio. Carriage rides will start at 10 a.m. Food trucks will start up as early as 8 o'clock, serving breakfast around the stoplight store. The tree lighting and entertainment will start at 5:30. And there will be a can collection for non-perishable food to support the Falston Women's Club. So plan now to be there. Small Town Christmas, Saturday, November 19th in downtown Falston. You don't want to miss it. For more information, visit the Small Town Christmas Facebook page.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. It's time to get ready for fall and winter driving with a stop in at Butler's Tire and Auto Service in Kings Mountain. For over 26 years, Butler's Tire and Auto Service has been serving the folks of Kings Mountain, Cleveland, and Gaston counties with the finest in automotive repair. From a tune-up to an oil change to an alignment, and check on their line of tires. They always have a great deal on tires going on. That's Butler's Tire and Auto Service, located at 404 East King Street in Kings Mountain, right across from KFC. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Full Throttle Power Sports in Gastonia has just gotten a whole lot bigger, and we mean a whole lot bigger. They've just purchased MS Power Sports in Gastonia and are now your dealer for Honda, Suzuki, and Kawasaki, along with CF Moto, Yamaha, and Polaris. Golf carts too. One big dealer under one big roof, plus a complete parts and service department. At Full Throttle Power Sports, located at 101 Indian Walk off I-85 in Lowell, online at ncfullthrottle.com, and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
And we're back with Kevin and his crew.
Kevin and my crew.
Yeah, just want to thank Shelby Heating and Air for sponsoring Saturday Morning Sports Talk. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. Check them out online, shelbyheating.com.
All right, let's talk, let's see. World Series finished up this week while we were...
Yeah,
right.
I hate to tell you I told you so, but I told you so that the Houston Astros would win that game. The Cheaters won again. Congratulations, Cheaters. We appreciate you winning.
Congratulations to Dusty Baker.
Dusty Baker, I was glad to see Dusty get a win.
Yeah,
Dusty's a
I'm
good
just
guy.
sorry he was with Houston. But
Sorry, yeah, I wish it was with any other team besides them Cheaters. But
I don't like. There's not a lot of people I don't like in baseball. I'm not a Dusty Baker fan. He's always been against us in some way, the Cardinals. So
yeah, because
when you're successful, you know, Cubs, Astros, that's what you get. Yeah. So, I thought this was interesting. How about the Astros not offering their general manager a multi-year deal, and then him turning it down, and then they fired him? So what has he not done the past 6 years or whatever it is to deserve a multi-year contract? So I'm guessing he asked for a buttload of money, and they were just like, no, maybe 1 year. So that's kind of weird. Does he know that too many skeletons in the closet, or do they know something about him that he wouldn't want to go public? Like, how does this get a 1 year deal? And it's just a weird fallout. I don't know. Does he have another offer from someone else, like under the table from someone? Like, it's just a weird situation, Terry. Like,
well, with that crooked organization, there's no telling, no telling what's going on with them.
All I know is he got you a World Series championship, and now he's going to be going out. Now, if they would fall off, I mean, it'll take more than a year because he's done what he needs to do, and that'll last 2 or 3 years there. But after that, the new guy coming in, can he hold the heat where they'll stay up at the top? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, because they might end up hurting them.
I'm going to pull up here next year's way too early power rankings. That's what y'all are dying to see here.
Heck yeah. Kansas City be way up there. Yeah, right.
Number 1, Houston Astros. Number 2, fans here around our area, they've got the Atlanta Braves, ESPN, as the number 2 team going into Next year, it says the Astros weren't quite a slam dunk for the top spot. However, as the Braves dominated the final 4 months of the regular season to capture their 5th straight division title, emergence of center fielder Michael Harris and starters Strider and Wright raised this team to another level. Now picture a lineup with Ronald Acuna Jr., who they're talking about trading, by the way. Completely healthy again if he rediscovers his power stroke, with only 15 home runs in 119 games after knee surgery. Shortstop Dansby Swanson heads into free agency after his best season. If he doesn't return, the Braves turn to Vaughn Grissom, who impressed playing second base down the stretch. Bottom line, with Austin Riley, Matt Olson, Acuna, and now Harris and Strider all signed well into the future, the Braves are going to compete for the National League pennants for a long time.
That Vaughn Grissom's pretty good.
You think so?
For a young guy coming in, I mean, I like him.
San Diego 3, Tampa 4, Dodgers 5. I'm going to guess Cardinals 12th, whatever it is. I don't even know.
We'll be 19th.
9th. Got us up in 9th.
Are you up to in the top 10?
First, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 15 consecutive winning seasons, Terry. Next year, they will not have a winning season. Yachty's gone.
He retired.
Yachty and Albert retired. 15 consecutive winning seasons. How many ever seasons he played? I think 18 or 19. They only had one losing season, and that year they were 2 games under 500, and he missed like 40 games. So, just complete nothing but winning with him out there. And I don't know. We don't even know who the catcher is, much less if he's going to be good. They're talking free agency. They don't have much to replace him.
I'd just like to replace Molina. I'd just like to be the guy that replaces him.
Yeah.
Then Arenado re-signs, and he won his 10th straight Gold Glove. I don't know how to feel about that, Terry, after him terribly misplaying a ball in a game that cost us and a lot of teams in the bottom of the ninth or top of the ninth. Like,
that took a bad hop, man.
What, Terry? Are you supposed to let it take that hop?
I don't think you really had enough time for it not to take.
10-time Gold Glover.
I know that.
Which way was it? Okay, which way? You know the answer.
Yeah,
which direction was he going when he caught that ball? Backwards.
Yeah.
Third basemen are not supposed to go backwards.
Yeah, they're supposed to attack, but then
forward or left.
Yeah.
You're not going backwards. And he took a step backwards, and that ball went by him, and then he gets a Gold Glove. We lose. Matt Holliday gets hired as the bench coach for us. Thank God he's not hired as any type of defensive coach, because he was the worst one we've ever had. He was not winning any. He cost us the World Series, actually. So I know 2 people that can't catch that cost us the World Series. One got a Gold Glove.
Your coach is the one that cost you.
Well, yes, that was stupid. Again, they should fire him and hire Molina immediately. Should they not?
Maybe.
If
Why
Jeff
not?
Saturday can coach being a TV analyst,
I agree.
Surely
100%.
Yachty Molina should, if anybody could walk in and be a coach today. Now, he's coaching the Puerto Rican national team in the World Cup or whatever it's called. What is that thing called?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The tournament, the baseball equivalent of the World
Series of Cup of Baseball, whatever it is. All right, let's see. Guardians at 12, Tom. Is that high or low for you?
That's probably about right.
I don't know. You know, on some other places, they picked them the team to beat next year on some of them.
I don't know if they're experienced enough. I mean, last year, nobody expected anything from them. It's kind of easy to play when nobody
They
expects.
even got y'all catcher. See if y'all pick up Molina, get him off of retirement and bring him over.
He's better than 29th.
Yeah.
Their catchers just gave no offense, Terry. Their catchers no offense at all.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. You don't want Molina then. He hadn't been hitting that great.
Yeah, so, I mean, we need somebody who can – we need Sandy Alomar back. I mean,
honestly, as far as Molina might be done hitting wise or whatever, Pujols could still DH.
Yeah.
There is no problem with it. He can sit there and DH, I thought he may come back after that.
Yeah, Straw wasn't real strong either in the outfield. They need some bats.
It says center fielder, yeah.
They need some bats. If they don't go out and spend any money, though, you're not going to get bats, Terry.
Well,
that's true.
I
know how that is.
It says your catcher can't hit, your center fielder can't hit, your designated hitter can't hit. Catcher you can live with. I don't know about your DH.
In general, except for Ramirez. I mean, they
8 home runs by DHs.
They can't
8.
hit, man. They cannot hit, and if you can't hit in Major League Baseball, you can't just go out and say, okay, guys, hold them to 2 runs or less, and you got a chance. I mean, it's just too hard.
DeGrom tried that quite
So,
often
Terry,
at the Mets.
Terry, they need help at catcher, and the DH only had 8 home runs last year. Y'all sign Pujols and Molina right now?
I
Y'all
would.
go straight to the World
I would
Series,
sign.
wouldn't you?
I would
both
sign
of 'em.
Pujols.
He'd take both of them.
I'd sign Pujols, but he wouldn't want to come to Cleveland. He's done.
No.
He's done.
Why? Yes. Let's put a shirt that says Guardians on one of the all-time best hitters.
Yeah, I know. Terrible.
Sorry for the dig. All right. Where you at, Terry? Where you at, Terry? Hey, what?
What'd I tell you?
Top 20?
What'd I tell you?
Top 20? The one that's stupid is whoever put these guys at 20. Angels.
Are they going to be able to re-sign Ohtani, or is he leaving?
They says they're keeping him right now, and they will not trade him this offseason. So, Terry, it says there's a reason to be optimistic, mostly about the young core of rookie position players that came up. Witt, Pasquantino, Melendez, Prado, all have 30 home run potential. Tom, there's some trade keys or targets right there.
I'm thinking it just depends on. It just depends on what you want to give up. You don't. I mean, Cleveland is a team built on we draft these guys, they're prospects. We get guys in trade. Quantrill, for example.
Mm.
You got him in the. I think you got him in the. Who's the guy they trade? Clevenger trade, and you got him, and he has. I think he lost one game after the All-Star break. Cleveland's a team that's got to do that. You got to hit on this guy's thrown in the trade. You got to hit on him. You got to hit on your prospects. So I don't know if Cleveland can afford to trade away too much because that's the way they build their teams. They don't want to pay anybody. Now they have some new ownership. I think it's like a new minority owner that may want to spend a little bit more money. We'll see. We'll see what they do.
Terry says your pitching ain't no good though.
Well, we've always we got a lot of. Well, we'll pick 5th. We'll gain somebody. If it's a pitcher. I don't know. I'm not going to say. I don't think 19th. I just think that's pretty high.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish.
You got a new GM. You got a new GM.
Okay.
Well, listen, you've had the same one for 16 years, and it obviously didn't work.
I believe we won a World Series and maybe should have won 2 if Bumgarner hadn't been around.
When's the last time you had a winning season?
Well, like a couple years ago when we won a World Series.
2015, wasn't it?
Yeah,
7 years.
That's been 7, not a couple. That's
well,
7.
just a couple for me because I remember
it. 7 years. That's been 7 years ago.
Come on, Tom.
That's how he sits in Kendall's Cowboy Land.
Come on, Tom.
Well, that was just
a couple years ago in 1995. We were in the playoffs.
96.
During the last millennium, we made the NFC Championship game, Tom.
I mean, we got a lot of nice prospects on our team.
You're a team. You're a team like Cleveland. You've got to get some prospects and squeeze as much out of them when they're young because.
But here's your problem.
Somebody's going to pay them, and they're done.
Yeah, I mean, after we get through 2 or 3 years,
somebody's going to pay them, like Lindor in Cleveland. Great prospect, did a great job. 3 years, time to pay me. Go to the Big Apple.
All right,
go to
Los Angeles. Funny.
Who are you guys guessing?
Angels.
What 20th? Yes, that's just outrageously stupid.
Maybe like 30th. Maybe.
Who are you? All right, I'm going to scroll down real quick. Who do you guys think will be the last team in the Major League Baseball power rankings?
The last team.
Mm-hmm. Before I scroll down, what's your guess?
Miami Marlins.
Tom.
Let's see. That's tough. Miami's always a good bet, though, isn't it?
I mean, either you win it or you lose it.
It wouldn't be Baltimore anymore because they're on the up.
They're pretty bad too.
I don't think it's Baltimore. I'll go with Miami too.
Listen to this: the Angels owner bought the team in 2003 for $180 million.
That's cheap.
A Los Angeles pro franchise, $180 million. LaMelo Ball will end up signing a contract bigger than that at some point.
Yep. You're right.
Look at 180. That's almost as bad as the Jerry Jones robbery. It was valued in March at $2.2 billion. So
good investment.
So the 180 doesn't even cover the 0.2 on his billion, Dom.
That's crazy.
That's a 1,500% increase, whatever it is. All right, so last place team, ladies and gentlemen. How about the Red Sox at 23?
Oakland is another one I would have guessed.
Oakland 25, Marlins 24, Pirates 26, Rockies 27, Reds 28, Tigers 29, and ladies and gentlemen, The Washington Nationals.
Wow.
Where was Miami?
24.
24.
Maybe the Nationals shouldn't have traded Bryce Harper. What do y'all think? We got rid of him, however.
Maybe that was dumb.
All right, we'll be back in a minute. We got NCAA football. I got a very, very important question for Terry and Tom here in a minute. And
I got an important question before you ever get
They've got to apologize to somebody again. Second apology of the year to the same person. What is it, Terry?
All I got to do is say, I'm never picking Oklahoma State ever again.
Nope, me neither. The mullet, the former mullet, you let me down, Van Gundy.
Lord,
all right,
twice.
we'll be back in a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Check out the fall service call special from Shelby Heated and Air. Shelby Heated and Air is now offering a fall service call special of just $55. But that's not all. Get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heated and Air discount on qualifying systems. Call today at 704-487-7877 and schedule your $55 service call appointment. Shelby Heated and Air. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts. Christmas at your fingertips.
It's the shopping event of the season, the Southern Christmas Show, November 10th through 20th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Enjoy a winter wonderland and find the magic of the season with frosty decor galore. Plus, shop hundreds of booths to find one-of-a-kind gifts for everyone on your list. Plan your visit and buy tickets at southernChristmasShow.com.
Let's go to the Southern Christmas Show.
Just in Time Plumbing wishes Kings Mountain and Shelby football teams great success. Family owned and operated, serving Cleveland and Gaston counties. They handle bathtub and vanity installation, new home construction plumbing, commercial sinks, Renil tankless water heaters, water line and drain repairs, gas piping, jetter services, and more. And they offer project financing. Their licensed professionals provide first-class service on time, on budget, 24/7. Call 704-600-8350 for free estimates. Just in Time Plumbing every time. 107 South City Street in Kings Mountain.
What other pre-owned vehicle dealership can offer this? Pre-owned sales, a complete service department, and a complete body shop. The only one I know is Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop in Kings Mountain. They can do it all. Check with their automotive repair shop for all kinds of automotive repair. Plus, they sell tires too. And from a scratch to a big fender bender, they can help with that in their body shop. And on the lot now, take a look at the sharp 2012 Ford Fiesta, priced at only $89.95. Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop, 522 Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain. Online at oakgroveauto.com.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays, October 1st through November 20th. New! Tickets limited. Save your dates while supplies last. New! Gates open at 9:30 a.m. Arrive early. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. Don't miss it! Don't miss the Renaissance Festival! Sponsored by Visit Lake Norman. Visit Lake Norman, the lakeside of Charlotte. Huzzah!
There's no use to be cold this coming winter. Head on into Today's Pro in Shelby for warmth and comfort. From gas logs to fireplaces to inserts and more. With name brands like Empire, Monessen, and Buckstone. Be ready for old man winter today with a stop at Today's Pro in Shelby. And they also do service calls. And don't forget, they fill those propane cylinders. Just call 704-600-8393. 704-600-8393. Today's Pro, 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at thetodayspro.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Carrie and the Pack.
All right, welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk. College football time, and we're going to have to start off here.
Just want to remind our listeners that Shelby Heating and Air bringing you our college football segment, 704-487-7877. Give them a call.
So at the start of the year, or about week 3 or 4, we had to make Tom admit that me and Terry was right about Mac Brown and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Terry, right now, who's the favorite to win the ACC?
Clemson.
Clemson might not make the championship.
Terry, who's the favorite, and who's got the road to win the ACC championship right now?
Clemson.
Tom.
Carolina.
They really do.
There's no way.
They're going to be in the championship game.
Yeah, they're going to be there. But here's the problem.
No. Wait a minute.
Let me explain.
Wait a minute. Whose offense is clearly way better than the other teams?
Carolina.
How can you say that?
Because Clemson got shut out at Notre Dame.
Yes.
How can you say that, huh?
What do you mean? They're horrible on the road too. They don't play well on the road.
Check your rankings. Check your digits.
Not what I'm talking about.
Well, I ain't what I'm saying. I'm just saying this. Check. We talk about defense.
Mm-hmm.
There's no defense on that Atlantic side.
See, but we're not talking about defense. We're talking about offense, Terry.
I know what we're talking about.
No, you don't.
If I had to play a bunch of teams like Carolina's playing from that Atlantic Division, my offense is going to look tremendous because nobody on that other side has defense.
Uyunglele
we're not talking about the
laid
coastal.
an egg.
We're not talking about the coastal. The coastal side has all your ranked teams of Wake Forest.
So you're telling me
Coastal's the Carolina side.
Okay.
You're telling me if Clemson was on the other side, they'd be scoring 30 points a game.
No, I'm just saying the opposite side that Carolina is on, nobody on that side plays defense. Nobody on that side except Carolina is ranked.
Well, here's my point, was that Clemson only got 14 on Notre Dame. Carolina scored 32 on them, at least. The Tar Heels have been putting points up on the board left and right. Clemson is a little bit less than them but Clemson Carolina obviously has no defense. But in a one-game shootout here,
and that's all it's going to come down to.
We're sitting here
you have to get prepared to play one game.
Can Clemson score 30?
Now Clemson still got a path to the championship game.
Both
of them do.
Okay, because that lost to the Fighting Irish.
If the Tar Heels win the ACC, are they not in the Final Four?
Yeah.
Are they not in the BC or B, whatever you call it? Why?
No.
Why?
Nope. That's not going to happen.
Tell me why.
I'm
Terry just now thought about this. Wait a minute.
That's not going to happen.
If they beat Clemson, they're in the playoffs.
Carolina's ranked
11-1. I know right now they are, but you know for a fact, Terry, these rankings guys will be like, oh crap, we got to fix these.
Yeah.
Carolina will jump up to like 5, and Clemson will stay at the 10 or wherever they're at. Just say, oh yeah, we just had them wrong. We just got to flip them. So
Carolina's got to jump all the way over Alabama, and they're behind Alabama
again
with 2 losses.
Alabama will have 2 losses. Will not be in their conference championship game. Or say if they lose the championship game, they'll have 3. No, Alabama's not even going to be in the championship game because LSU will be. So Alabama will not. Terry, you talk about Alabama. They're out of the playoffs.
I know.
Okay.
They are.
Okay.
I just don't see Carolina.
I would never say Alabama's completely out. Nick Saban will cry his way in. He'll cry his way in.
They're out of the playoffs. Let's finish this out. SEC champion. Georgia's 9-0. They're going to be playing LSU at 7-2. Now, if the SEC wants to fix this thing, Georgia loses that game because there's no way you're going to have the committee not say LSU, the SEC champion is not going to be in this championship.
Yeah,
they're not going to. You're going to say Georgia and LSU's out. LSU wins, they're both going to be in it, right?
That's yeah. Because Georgia's not going to fall. They're not going to fall far.
Right.
Even though they got spanked by Tennessee at home, they'll still be in there.
What should happen? Here's what should happen. Georgia should be in the champion in the playoffs. Ohio State, Michigan winner wins their game, then wins the Big Ten. They should be in the playoffs. TCU is probably going to be undefeated. So you're going to have 3 undefeated teams.
They got a hard way to go, though, TCU.
They got to beat Texas today.
Yeah, and then the last 2 games are pretty stout.
And they're at Texas.
Guys.
This will be hard for them to win out.
They're at Texas.
6-3.
They're under TCU's is a touchdown and underdog. I think they said like Texas has got 4 or 5 stars starting for their team or something crazy. They got some talent there in Texas.
Okay,
they've underperformed a bit.
Let's go with this. Let's say TCU finishes undefeated. So you have your 3. Okay. What's left is your Pac-10 champion and your ACC champion. If Clemson's 11-1, Terry, are they in the championship? That's my problem with this whole conversation.
Yeah,
if I say Clemson's 11-1, are they in the playoffs? Most people say probably. If I say North Carolina's 11-1, are they and beat Clemson, Are they in the playoffs? And people say no because of the name. We can put these resumes
Well, Mac
up
Brown
all we
will
want.
help them with his name.
He will.
I
but
will say that.
So your argument, though, is going to be then one loss USC or one loss Carolina.
Carolina's going to have more than one loss.
No, they won't, Terry.
They got to play State.
Terry. Yeah, speaking of scoring,
Well,
how are y'all going to score 30 points?
How's Carolina going to score that many points against us?
They only got to get 14, don't they?
I mean, Wake come in there, and we talk about Wake. Today will be a good day because Carolina plays Wake. How many does Wake put up on them? Wake come in the State, and they couldn't get 20-something.
He changes the subject every
Well,
time.
I'm just saying that's
Yeah,
how
he
it
does
works.
that. He's worse
Our
than me.
defense is as good as anybody's out there. So
What about your offense?
if they go out there and Wake scores 40-some on them, be careful, Carolina, because State's defense will take May and limit him to what he can do.
Let's see. Y'all gave up.
They will take May and limit to him to what he can do.
Exactly. When you got linebackers and safety
Exactly.
and
Whatever
corners,
whatever
everybody coming at him, he's got to rethink everything.
I'm just not real sure what that means, Terry. Limit him to what he can do.
That's right. He remembers what he said at
I
the
mean,
start
but
of the year.
if he can do it, you're not limiting him. You would limit him below what he's capable of.
The least number of points the Tar Heels have scored this year is 27. The least.
But here's the problem. If they score 27, State scores 40.
No.
Terry.
Yeah, because Carolina's defense is not going to stop us.
They're not
With
that
a
explosive.
freshman.
They're not
With
that
a freshman,
explosive.
you'll not stop
They're
us.
not that explosive.
Terry, are you really saying that?
Yeah.
Your offense, which is probably the worst in the ACC.
We
right?
scored 30-some against Wake.
Okay. what kind of trophy you want for that?
Well, I'm just saying, that's the first game that this
We
freshman
scored 30
started.
points on Wake Forest.
Yeah, he scored. That's the first game he started. We'll see what Carolina scores today, but watch how many Wake scores.
18 for 28, 200 yards.
Yeah, I was thinking Clemson had another tough game, but they don't.
No, they cake.
I was thinking they had another tough game, and they might not make the championship, but that's not right.
Carolina's going to be there. There's
Louisville.
nobody else over there.
Yeah, Louisville.
Yeah, there's nobody else over there.
Louisville and Miami, which they have both of those at home. What's Clemson won, like 38 in a row at home?
Yeah, right there it is. I mean, you're 5-0. You're going to lose one game.
How'd they do this? Their last 3 games are at home. That's nice.
Who?
Clemson. Louisville, Miami, and South Carolina. South Carolina might beat them this year.
College football.
Yeah, and Florida State and Syracuse play today.
I'm just looking at that, and
look at our side. Look at our Atlantic. 6 of our 7 teams are bowl eligible.
That's right.
Go down to the Coastal Division. Hello, you got 2. 2 teams that's bowl eligible down there.
3.
No, you're 5 and 4. You're not bowl eligible.
And you know what else I was thinking? I was thinking that Notre Dame loss. Notre Dame plays the ACC schools, but they're not in the conference.
They select.
So that's not even a okay.
Yeah, they're selective on who they
Carolina. So technically, Notre Dame is the ACC champion. So right there,
yeah,
and
might
any,
as well say.
under any circumstance, should Carolina?
They should have stayed in.
Should Carolina or Duke? That's right. That was what I was going to ask.
Yeah, they should have stayed in.
How is Carolina and Clemson both ranked ahead of Notre Dame?
And Notre Dame's beat both of them.
Right.
Yep.
Notre Dame's they have 3 losses. The other 2 have 1. Now, if Alabama was 6-3 and had beat those other 2 teams 8-1, they'd all be behind Alabama.
But now Notre Dame's lost to who? Marshall
at home
again. They're the ACC champion, and they would be ranked behind
they beat
everybody.
the top 2 teams.
If they were actually in the conference, they would be the ACC champion.
They should have stayed then. That's their problem. You'd be playing for a championship.
So USC. So again, if you could have 3 undefeateds at Georgia, Ohio State, TCU, and then 1 loss USC.
Look at that. They got UCLA.
Clemson.
They got UCLA above Alabama in the AP. All the way down to number 10.
I just want to see how far Carolina jumps this week. I mean, they're 8-1, but they can be 11-1, so they got 3 games. Let's just see. If they win today and they beat Wake, a team that's dropped below them now, and say, I mean, heck, somebody on the top's got to lose for them to jump over them. So let's say they jump 3 spots, so they go to number 12. They win next week, they might jump to number 10. See what I'm saying? It's the hard work is still there because I don't see them jumping clean over that many teams in front of them to be one of the top 4.
If USC loses and Carolina wins out, they'll be in the top 4.
And USC had who left?
I don't know who they got left. I'm just saying if they
Notre
lose, they
Dame.
have 2
Don't they play Notre Dame?
Oregon. It's Oregon's above USC right now.
Yeah.
So we got both of those.
Yeah.
So the voters would have to put right now they got North Carolina and Clemson both behind Oregon and USC. So right now they don't have the ACC in the playoffs.
Sure, our best team's 10th.
Notre Dame's got to go to USC the last game of the year.
To USC.
They got to go to USC.
And they've got better. They started off bad,
Well,
but
how
the
do you
guys
put
turned
Oregon
that
in the
around.
playoffs and they got beat by just a mud hole stomped into them by who? Ohio State or Georgia?
Georgia. And Fighting Irish started 0-2.
So, look, so if you look at it, Michigan would have gotten beat. Let's say Ohio State wins, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Michigan got beat by a playoff team. Why would you put them in there already? Tennessee got beat by a playoff team. Why would you put them in already? Oregon got beat by a playoff team. Why would you put them in already? So you're down to the only one that hadn't got beat by a playoff team is Clemson and North Carolina.
Now, is Ohio State and Michigan on separate brackets in
No,
the Big Ten?
No,
They're in
they're
the same one? Okay, so there
One of them's out.
One of them's out. Yeah, whoever loses that game is out. Whoever loses that game, you're going to go to the Rose Bowl.
They're going to play Alabama in the de facto national championship game.
No,
okay,
it
but
won't.
now
It
here's
won't.
my
That's what
deal.
they'll call it.
It won't be because all their studs won't play. Their studs that are going to get drafted will say, "No, we're sitting this one out."
Are you going to say Carolina's better than
No,
either one of those two
That's not
teams?
what I'm saying. More deserving.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Oh, I agree now with you there, but I just don't see it happening.
But see, that's the biggest problem with college football is you got two people. Let me put it this way: well, whatever the top 25 is, and I say this all the time, you got 25 coaches that have no idea how to coach a quarterback, and we're going to sit here and argue. Well, I think this team's better than this team.
Yeah,
Well, that's what you're doing.
None of
Yeah.
these guys can coach a quarterback. None of them. Who's the best quarterback? Bryce Young, but he's going to be awful in the NFL. I wish Panthers, go ahead, draft him. See if you win 3 games.
You got to tell me Stroud's going to be no good in the NFL.
Who's Stroud?
Guy for Ohio State.
No.
Oh my God, we're talking
Yeah.
about Ohio State. Ain't Justin Fields at Chicago?
Justin Fields is doing pretty good. It's the defense that stinks in Chicago.
Oh, so blame it on somebody.
Justin Fields may have the worst pass rating in the NFL.
No.
Tom. I
He's
said
not
may
good.
have.
He's not good, Tom.
He's been playing better.
Let's
He's been
fix.
playing better.
Let's fix some game.
Okay.
He's been playing better.
Oh goodness. Let's see. 40 point favorites in conference. Arkansas dogs at home. LSU favored by 3.5 in Arkansas at Razorback Stadium. Terry, Tigers, are they gonna have some pig to eat this week?
Well, here you are. You're going LSU, a big win last week. Are you too excited about going over here to play Arkansas? I think you will be. Arkansas beats LSU.
An Arkansas team that lost to Liberty at home last week.
Well,
give me
pick LSU.
Give me LSU.
I gotta mute that camera off there. All right. Next game. 6.5 point favorite, the Illini. Do they continue their march to the Big Ten championship game?
They laid an egg last week. They got beat, but I think they'll win at home.
Yeah, I got it. Also, Illinois.
Is that side of the bracket better than Carolina's side in there?
It's horrible.
Conference?
I think Illinois is the
20's
only ranked team.
Right, 21's the highest one in that. So, yeah, not doing too on that side of the Big Ten bracket. All right, Kentucky 17.5. Alabama
Ole Miss.
is 11-point favorites at Ole Miss. 9 versus 11. Is this Lane Kiffin, right?
Yeah.
So the
Here
Lane
you
Kiffin
go.
Bowl. Terry?
They've tried before, but Saban's always beat all of them but one. The only one he lost to was Texas A&M, and it won't happen today. Alabama goes in there and wins.
Give me Ole Miss at home just so we can finish off Alabama and not worry about little Nicky still crying.
I would like for that to happen, Tom, but I just don't think it. He'll bounce them right back, and they'll win.
He
by-
probably will. They'll probably
Yeah.
win, but I'm picking Ole Miss anyway.
Louisville. Unranked. Only 7-point dogs in Death Valley today. Clemson.
Who's playing quarterback for them today?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Kevin. They might call you. Didn't you play quarterback a few years back? Come on down.
If I was playing somewhere else, if I was playing at Louisville, I'd take Louisville. But Clemson's not going to turn the ball over 8 times like Wake did to them. So Clemson will win at home.
Yeah, I like Clemson. They've won like 30-some games in a row at home or something ridiculous. Something crazy. I can't remember what it was.
Maryland's at Penn State, 10.5-point favorites. We're going to skip that one for now. Might have to come back to it. UCF, Central Florida at Tulane. Tulane, the highest-ranked non-Power 5 team in the nation. They are 8-1 on the season, 1-point favorites at home over Central Florida in New Orleans.
They're having a great season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're a great story this year. I think they keep it going. At home, they win.
And I've got UCF going in there and beating them to end that.
Cinderella loses her slipper. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Terry hates them.
I never said that.
Not I'm talking about the. Never mind.
Yeah.
Kansas State at Baylor. Baylor favored by 2.5 in Waco, Texas, not North Carolina. You listeners on the radio. Kansas State is 19th ranked, and dogs on the road.
Mm.
It's hard to go on the road and win in college football. K-State at home. K-State on the road. I still like them. I'll take K-State.
I'm taking Baylor at home.
Well, Tom's going to take the Texas Longhorns in this one. 7-point favorites over TCU. Again, Vegas just blows my mind with this stuff.
So Texas.
You taking Texas too?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
At home. A lot of talent. They're 7-point favorites. Why are you laughing?
Why are they 7-point favorites?
It's correct.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something this. If the roles were reversed and Texas Christian was at home and 18th at 6-3, would they be 7-point favorites over Texas, who is ranked 4th?
No.
That's just
no.
That's what I'm laughing at.
Yeah.
$16 you can get the a ticket to this game, which might be the best. It might be the best game in the nation this week. What do you think?
I think the Alabama Ole Miss game is going to be good.
Pretty good. Will that be a 13-10 game though?
No, wasn't it like 50-45?
Was that what
was
that
crazy? And they accused Lane Kiffin of stealing the signals over there from Alabama.
I'm sure he did. Whatever they accused him of, I believe.
He did it.
Yeah, that's one of those
crazy game.
That's one of those people you tell me whatever they did. Did they put frozen water in the footballs?
Probably.
Yes, he did. North Carolina. Speaking of Vegas, Terry, how are they not the number one team in the ACC? Terry, Dogs in Winston-Salem.
Yeah, here's the
Wake Forest is favored by 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is where you find out because Carolina had Fighting Irish come in there and lost. Now they got to go to Wake Forest. It's a loss. Wake Forest wins.
I think Carolina gets it done. I think they got some momentum, Terry. I think they're going to steamroll your pack, too.
Get on that old bandwagon.
I think they're going to steamroll your pack. Steamroll them.
They playing Wake today, not State.
Yes, the Demon Deacon.
They're warming up. This is their scrimmage. This is their scrimmage.
There'll be a lot of points scored in this game.
There will be, yeah. Both these teams. I like Wake Forest. I enjoyed watching that game where they beat Florida State at Florida State. That was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Speaking of Florida State, 7-point favorites on the road in Syracuse this week. Tickets as low as $14.
Because Syracuse has lost 3 in a row. They let me down. I picked them a couple of times. They've lost. Sorry, old Syracuse. I tell you what, though, I don't trust either one of these teams. Florida State a 7-point favorite on the road in the Carrier Dome. Syracuse got somebody hurt?
No, they got all their guys back. They playing.
They're just Syracuse.
Give me Syracuse at home. Let me go ahead and take them again. Take another loss.
There you go, because I'm taking Florida State.
I can't take Florida State. I hate them.
How many games is that, Terry?
2, 4, 6, 9.
Oklahoma at West Virginia. Oklahoma 8-point favorite in Morgantown.
Oklahoma. I mean, we're
both these teams are pretty terrible.
Yeah, not too sweet.
Oklahoma will score a bunch of points on them. Give me Oklahoma.
Iowa State 1.5-point favorite in Stillwater. at Boone Pickens Stadium. A lot of smoke coming to these two earlier about Oklahoma State. Who y'all gonna pick on this one?
Well, here you go. And I think I might just got through saying I wasn't taking Oklahoma State. Dad burn, y'all.
Two sentences time. We've got a dad burn and a dad gum.
That's what I'm saying.
But Oklahoma State's only a Iowa State is a 1.5 point favorite.
Yes, at 6-3.
Who's hurt for Oklahoma State?
So again, let's go over this. 6-3 Texas at home is a 7-point favorite over the number 4 team in the nation. 6-3 Oklahoma State is a 1.5 point dog to a 4.5 Iowa State.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and this is probably crazy. I just got through saying I wasn't going to take them. I wouldn't. That's what I said. But I'm going to take. Yeah, here's where I lose. I'm going to take Oklahoma State. I'm going to go one more time taking y'all. If you do not win, I don't care who you're playing. Even if it's somebody hadn't won a game, I'm not picking you.
I mean, Oklahoma, I guess their problems are on the defensive side of the ball. I don't know. I mean, they got the tail whooped at Kansas State, and we both picked them, didn't we, Terry?
Heck yeah, we
sure
did. Got stomped. What I'm talking about.
I'm reading here. I'm trying to say, is somebody hurt for Oklahoma? Like, is the quarterback down or something?
Flip a coin, Tom.
Give me Oklahoma State. I mean, you've got a winning record. You're at home.
Go Cowboys.
That's right. Yeah. That's what's going to happen. Iowa State wins.
Yeah. Kansas at Texas Tech. Texas Tech favored by 3.5 at home over 6-3 Kansas.
Texas Tech.
I don't know. It was they fought TCU hard last week, and they're at home. Might have taken a little emotionally out of them.
This one's at Jerry Jones Stadium.
Yeah. Give me Kansas.
You lost.
Did he really name that Jones AT&T Stadium? When did that happen?
I don't know.
You see that?
You got as much money as him, you can do.
Terry, when did that happen?
Well, why not?
No, I'm just saying, when did that happen? I didn't say why.
It's been a while.
No, really?
Yeah.
No. I've never seen it announced as Jones AT&T
He probably
Stadium.
owns AT&T now.
Well, I don't know. I've just, that's a new one to me. All right, you want any more? Or is
That's
that good?
12.
One more?
Well, see, that I don't like 13.
Oh, my Lord.
App
State at Marshall.
There you go. There's a good one. Give me Marshall.
Marshall's good enough to beat Notre Dame. App State's good enough to beat Texas A&M. Both 5-4, 2-3 in the Sun Belt.
Texas A&M like 3-6. Yeah,
well,
good win.
SEC. We talking about that was a top 5 win, wasn't it?
It was. Look at them, 3-6.
Marshall beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame, and they're 5-4. They're 2-3 in the conference.
Ain't no worse than 5-4.
Appalachian State 2-3 in the conference.
They're both 2-3 in the conference. Marshall beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame handled Clemson and Carolina.
Whatever. Give me Appalachian State for old time's sake.
Okay, that wouldn't bother me if you won.
Is that you want 2 more, Terry?
No,
or is that
that's
okay?
good.
Okay,
13's good.
Okay. He likes to do an odd number.
I wanted to go out to the Hawaii if we had to. Who are they playing this week? Utah State. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. JP, sit up, pay attention for a minute, hit a button. When we come back, we've still got NBA and NFL picks on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Check out the fall service call special from Shelby Heated and Air. Shelby Heated and Air is now offering a fall service call special of just $55. But that's not all. Get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heated and Air discount on qualifying systems. Call today at 704-487-7877 and schedule your $55 service call appointment. Shelby Heated and Air. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Trusted, tried, and true. Those 3 words represent the highest standards for the Kawasaki Mule side-by-sides. Trusted means being built strong and built to last. Tried means being put to the test by hardworking people doing the toughest jobs. And true means staying authentic to the roots that run 30 years deep. Kawasaki Mule, the definition of trusted, tried, and true. See the Kawasaki Mule at Full Throttle Power Sports, located at 101 Indian Walk in Lowell.
Grizzly the Greeter says, come on in this week for double discount at Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes in Cherryville. Now's the time to get that tiny home, storage building, play set, or playhouse with double discounts. And to ensure Christmas delivery for your playset or playhouse, order before Thanksgiving. Also, on the lot, you'll find a discounted playset and discounted gazebo right now. And ask about deliverable deck service. Replace your deck at a lower cost than lumber at Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes. 2268 Lincoln Highway, 150 East in Cherryville, right across from Ace Hardware. Online at blessedbuildings-tinyhomes.com.
For over 60 years, Boyd Tire and Appliance has been serving the Clover and surrounding area with the finest quality of home appliances, televisions, lawn equipment and parts, tires, and more. They feature in-house financing with 90 days same as cash, and they service what they sell. Drop by their showroom at 110 North Main Street in Clover, open 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. Call 803-222-3231 for Boyd Tire and Appliance and Boyd Lawn and Garden. Online at BoydTireandAppliance.com.
Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles are available at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. They probably have the vehicle you've been looking for. And right now, make no payment for 60 days on the new or used vehicles. And now, take $500 off any new or used vehicle when you mention this radio ad. Yes, this radio ad is worth $500. Be sure to mention it when you arrive at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. Located at 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at ClassicVWGastonia.com. See their page at WhatsUpShopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Check out the new arrivals this week at Cars, Trucks, and Credit in Lincoln, like a 2004 Mercury Mountaineer for $999 down. Also a 2005 Toyota Matrix for $1499 down. A 2006 Honda Pilot is also $1499 down, and a 2009 Toyota Camry is $1799 down. See the entire inventory online at ctcautosports.com. Also see their page at whatsupshopper.com. But best yet, drop by their lot, 604 Clark Drive in Lincoln.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the guys.
They won't.
Welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk. It's brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. Check them out online, shelbyheating.com. Kevin.
Terry, those with nobody lives, whatever. Those are the ones that we have to go as reporters to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, tell me I can't sit in the upper deck. I'll just come sit in the locker room.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's it.
We've got a way to get around.
Do we still do that? Do we still send reporters?
We haven't went back since the COVID stuff. Okay. So, and there's nobody over there I want to interview or talk to.
I mean, I don't care. I just want to go.
All right. Last place, as always, ladies and gentlemen, your Charlotte Hornets.
Cleveland has stumbled.
Detroit lost one last night to tie, so they backed into it with us. So now we're in dead last as always, and 13 games in the season. And Tommy and Terry was just talking in the break, and this is what's going to piss me off as a Hornets fan, is that we're going to get down here to the end of the season, get to the lottery, and then some jackwagon team like the Houston Rockets or Lakers, who have all the money in the world, are going to get the top 1 or 2 pick, and we're going to get the one right behind them.
You tell me they're not tanking, guys. I don't care who you are. The Lakers
They're not
are
tanking,
better than
bad.
2-10. No, they're better than 2-10.
They're bad, Terry.
They're better than 2-10.
They're bad.
You got AD, you got LeBron, and you got Westbrook, and you've won 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
3 players who all do the exact same thing, and they can't shoot. So LeBron plays the same position as Anthony Davis, and he plays the same position as Westbrook. So classically, you had LeBron playing those 2 positions. Now you got 2 guys that are supposed to be playing those 2 positions. So you got three guys doing the same thing. That's why they're bad. If the other two guys
dealt away Kuzma.
If the other 2 guys aren't Dale Curry and Klay Thompson out there shooting, what do you do with them?
You don't have Rondo. I mean, I understand all that. You kept these other guys and gave away some of your playmakers off the team.
They've lost 5 straight.
And the only 2 wins ahead were back-to-back. But look who they beat, Denver and New Orleans.
But Tom, that was one of the points I was wanting to make real quick before we move on to like some of the better teams in the NBA, is that like the Spurs, when they had David Robinson, they had a good team, right? He gets hurt, they get Duncan. Now they have a great team. Charlotte has never had, we were 1 spot behind Anthony Davis, 1 spot behind Shaquille O'Neal, 1 spot behind Dwight Howard. We're always 1 spot behind, and then watch us end up somehow what's really going to make us mad if we're in the 4th worst record in the NBA, meaning you're not even in the top 3 on the lottery if you get the top 3 pick. But much less, you'll get down here, and like I said, teams like somebody like the Lakers will get a better pick than like Golden State. Every year they've had a bad year, they've got a top 5 pick, and they end up with these good players, and we're sitting and somebody they can trade or a good player. And Charlotte's sitting here. Our lottery picks are in the NBDL. That's where we're at. We're in the D League is where all our players at, right? It's just that's where our draft picks go. But it's just aggravating with that. So I haven't seen a game this year. There's no point in watching the Hornets. They're 3-10. I'm just waiting for them to please.
They don't have a leader this year. When I'm watching them, there's no one guy that takes over. And they got a lot of guys out there that should. Rozier ought to become the leader.
Well, let me talk
Dennis
about
Smith
Rozier.
Jr. He don't become the leader.
Do you know that Rozier takes the 3rd most shots in the NBA or 4th? He's tied with Donovan Mitchell. Now wait for this, Tom. Donovan Mitchell averages 10 more points a game than him.
Mitchell's doing
on the same number of shots, 22 shots a game that Terry Rozier's taking. And Terry, it's aggravating watching. They don't have anything, and it's just over and over and over. Let's field goal attempts per game. Terry Rozier's 3rd.
Yeah.
And then look at the points everyone else is averaging. That shoots
at
more.
36%.
Mitchell's
look at Luka.
Mitchell's how much is Mitchell averaging? He's got to be close.
31.
Yeah,
he's averaging 10 more points a game than Terry Rozier, and he takes
he's
half
50%.
a shot left.
Yeah, he's shooting 50%. That's out of the world.
Look at Luka, 48.8%. He's just nasty, just straight.
He cries too much. That's what I don't like about him. He cries.
Him and LeBron both. So, come on. Both of them do.
Ain't much on the Friars.
Luka's leading the NBA in scoring. Steph Curry is 2nd. Giannis 3rd. Mitchell 4th. Tatum 5th. Durant. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander 6th at 30 points a game. That's another person the Hornets could have drafted and didn't. Or did we draft him and trade him? That's not the one we drafted and traded, is it? Please tell me it is. I think it is. I'll have to look that up. All right, so Terry, I don't know if you remember last Saturday, we had a little conversation here with Tom, and he said the Cavs would take care of the Warriors. You remember that?
they gave Curry 18 points in the 4th quarter. I'm like, come on, guys.
And then last night, I get home and I checked Terry.
They were winning the whole game.
The Cavs did not take care of the Warriors.
Well, they didn't. That's on kind of Draymond dishing out them.
Draymond had 0 points. Like when I checked, what did he finish with? He had 0 points in the 3rd quarter.
2.
He dominated. He dominated.
2 points. 2 freaking points. Draymond.
9 rebounds. How many assists he have?
$20 million.
13.
2 points.
Look at the assist. He doubled everybody else on that team.
I'd have 10 assists if I could throw it to Steph Curry scoring 40 points, 20 of them in the 4th quarter, 18 in the 4th quarter.
I saw one of the highlights, Tom.
9 rebounds.
I saw. So Curry dribbled into it, and they got into a double team. Here was the play. Draymond was the one they weren't guarding, right? So Draymond's standing at the 3-point line, just like,
he just
watching.
hands it
yes.
He hands
Curry
it to him.
throws it to Draymond.
And he got
runs to
assist.
Draymond. Draymond hands it right back
Basically,
to him. Curry
really
turns
just
around.
hands it to him. I bet the pass wasn't no more than 2 feet.
And this is what we're bragging about. Oh,
Yeah.
he did. He just went right back to it.
Wasn't no more than 2
back
feet.
to him.
But now he was open for a 3, but he said, well, this guy shoots
Oh, Draymond
threes.
was wide open.
He said, this guy shoots threes. I'll let him shoot.
I'm glad you saw that, too.
I did. I saw
about
it.
peed myself laughing at that one.
That thing, he wasn't no more than 2 feet.
Draymond.
But that's one of them 13 assists, buddy.
That's like a blind guy can get 5 assists.
But
a game
here's your deal.
playing for
I mean,
Golden
look
State.
at it. Our center can't even get but 9 rebounds. Draymond had 9.
Draymond had 9 whole rebounds.
13 assists.
Isn't that what they paid him $20 million to do? When Dennis Rodman played, how many rebounds he get a game?
Out to the side, he's got
He
a plus.
averaged his career 13.
A plus. He don't have a negative.
How many 20 rebound games did Dennis Rodman have, and how many 20 rebound games has Draymond?
Draymond's never had 20 rebounds in a game.
All I know is when Draymond has a triple-double, Golden State never loses.
Look at this, Tom.
It's not that often.
It's his defense. 0 blocks, 1 steal. The power forward. Let's see what the power forward for the Golden State Warriors had 20 points and 13 rebounds. So Draymond got outplayed by 20
that's on account he has to play back. He can't play up on him. He's having to play the middle. He watched Golden State play. Look where Draymond's at. He's not really playing his guy.
Right.
He cannot play him.
Yep.
He has to play the middle to protect when Curry gets beat and Thompson gets beat.
So old triple
Poole
single.
gets beat.
There's the play. There's the play, Tom. Watch it.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, right there. Well, he just handed it right to him.
Hey, come on.
Well, I mean, you got to know you got to understand the game, and he understood it.
My point is that they could get someone who could do this for about $1 million a year.
Right.
Like Alex Curry. Oh, there's a lot of people here.
Give it back to me. See?
3.
Yeah.
And all Draymond said, that's another assist.
Yeah.
Look, I am not the one to criticize somebody for getting assist and then counting it. I would be, Terry, nothing would make me mad than throw a sweet pass, threading the needle, and then your big man blow the bunny. Like, why? I don't know how many times I've said, why did I throw it to you?
Yeah.
Because I could have shot it and missed it myself.
If Curry would have missed, Draymond would have said, next time I'll shoot it.
Yeah, that's what he had to say.
Yeah.
So anyway, you were both wrong on this one. Draymond's bad, and then the Cavs cannot beat the Warriors. So there you go. That's the only point I had on that.
The cat. I mean, it's just they're. They just.
They you got a good team. That's just the Warriors.
You do have a good team.
They lost a close one by 2 to the Clippers. Somehow they got beat by the Kings, and then they get beat by. They had a 5 or 6 point lead in the fourth quarter, and they let Curry. I mean, who are they going to go to? They're going to go to Curry. I think Klay Thompson had 6 points.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
He didn't
I
have
mean,
many.
it's just
9.
like
that. He didn't have many.
If I'm the coach, time out. Okay, look, you see that guy Curry? Get on him now. Do not let him shoot.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you do that, then Thompson beat you.
Thompson ain't gonna beat us. Thompson's not himself. Thompson's not himself. Now, 5 years ago, yes, Terry.
Yeah.
Yes,
He
5
is
years
hurt
ago,
now
yes, but
because
not now.
The other day when they got beat by so bad, Curry didn't score no point. Draymond led them in scoring that game because Thompson didn't do nothing and Curry neither one.
It just aggravates me when you give, and Kevin, you give their best player 18 points. You know, if I'm a coach, you're not beating me with your best player. You're gonna beat me with somebody else. But you're not beating me with him, and you got beat by the best player in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's just
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I went to a Hornets game one time and at reporting on it with our old esteemed colleague, and we were sitting there watching it, and that they drew Tobias Harris was on fire this night. He's hitting everything, and they had it's like at the end of the first quarter and the second quarter they drew a play up for him to end the. We're here in the fourth quarter, Tom. Tobias got like 40. Guess what they did? They drew up a play for Tobias Harris to catch the ball and turn around. We didn't have nobody guard him. Caught it wide open.
It's aggravating, man.
That's why, and that's when Hunter wanted Borrego gone then, and that was like in his first year. He's like, you can't. How do you do that? Everybody in the building.
How do you do that?
Tobias Harris to grab this ball.
No. Remember with the Philly game you gave me tickets for last year, and it was late in the game, and I think it was like a 1 point game, and they clear out for guess who? Joel Embiid. And they tried to guard him one-on-one with P.J. Washington. I'm like, what are they doing? Because I was like, what are you doing? What happened? Spin, dunk.
On him.
I mean, it's like, what are you doing? It's like, how could you? I mean, I'm going to double him. Well, they might give it to somebody else. That's fine. Joel Embiid is not dunking on me in that situation. But you see it all the time, Terry. It just makes you pull your hair out. How are you going to let their best player just beat you?
Yep.
How are you going to set up a situation where their best player can beat you? Now, he might beat you anyway because he just does something crazy. But when you
not spinning to the goal and dunking on him.
When you put P.J. Washington on Joel Embiid one-on-one, it's like, what are you doing? And Terry, it looked like the Red Sea party. I was waiting for Moses to come walk. I mean, it was like nobody was near the lane. And they cleared it out for us. I was like, what? It's just aggravating.
Well,
how do these coaches make millions of dollars? I mean, I'm not saying I can do it.
It's incredible.
But it's incredible. It's like the stupidity they can do. And it's like,
but then
how do you
kind
let this
of wonder
happen?
who else did you have in there that could have guarded him?
You put two on them.
Well,
you put two on them.
But did they have anybody?
Oh,
no,
you put two on them. God almighty.
Guard somebody? They ain't had nobody guard somebody since Alonzo Mourning was here. Well, Gerald Wallace guarded a couple.
Oh, it's aggravating.
I'll give Gerald some credit. He could now. I think I could outshoot Gerald Wallace with my left hand, but he could play some defense and can dunk the ball. That's one of those things about 6 foot guys being better than these tall guys at basketball. You got guys got like Gerald Wallace. He can run and jump and dunk.
Yeah.
He can't dribble, can't shoot.
Yeah.
But he's an NBA player.
Yeah.
I can't dribble and I can't shoot. I'm an NBA. So we do have the leading candidate for most improved player of the year last night had a double-double, 13 points, 15 rebounds on the Western Conference final or Western Conference champs. Tom, you want to hit computer for me?
Let me guess this is Bobo.
Yeah, baby.
I'm just glad he's somewhere he can play.
Yeah. He played 31 minutes last night, led the team in the victory, 13 points, 15 boards.
How many wins they got? 3?
As many, more than the Lakers.
Yeah.
More than LeBron and Terry.
Yeah.
He's got one less than Steph Curry has. Who's got, 5 wins?
5.
So, here's some 3.
Wow.
3 of 3 from 3 last night. Here's a pull-up 3. No, this one. So 7-2. They were playing 2 centers. They list him as a center. He's a small forward. He's basically playing Durant.
That's pretty good.
13 points, 15 rebounds, Tom. And then I'm gonna tell you some little quick advanced stats here. For the 3. Wow. He ain't hit the rim yet.
Wow.
He's 7'2". That's what's so fun to watch this.
Wow. I'm just glad he's at a team that whatever shot he takes, he can take it.
All right, Tom,
nobody at Orlando is gonna say, "Do not take that shot."
Well, why should he not take those shots?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he can take them there. If he is somewhere else, they'd be like, "What are you doing?"
The best true percentage shooter in the NBA this season, Bobo.
Wow.
Leads the NBA in advanced shooting at 74% of his shots go in the basket.
Wow.
That's number 1 in the NBA, Terry. Now, players have taken 96 shots on Bo this year, trying to shoot over him, right? He's blocked 25 of them. His block percentage is 26%. 1 out of 4 shots that someone tries to shoot on him, he beats it back in their face.
But it's just bad that he's with Orlando because they're not going to make the playoffs.
Terry, you're so he's 22. Why are we concerned about how many playoff wins they get right now?
I mean, if I was him, I'd be wanting a chance. He's getting a chance.
Right.
Then you need to transfer somewhere that's going to give you a chance to go to the playoffs anyway.
It's not college, Terry. You don't
I know
transfer.
that.
Okay. you don't
It's a wonder.
transfer.
I don't know where
I don't know
where he's going.
Let me transfer to Phoenix.
All right. So the other day
They try this day and time. These are the only 2 teams I'll play for.
So here's a quick adjustment that he made. Last week, Luka Doncic took him down, and he put his shoulder in basically his chest and put him in that circle where you can't get to charge, and then did a fadeaway on him over him. And then Luka gave him the. Did y'all see it? Luka gave him the "he's too small."
Too small, yeah.
The gesture, and Andre sent that to me, and I said, Andre, he might be too small, but he's definitely not too small. Luka said, I like Luka, so I thought it was funny. But this is the adjustment. This is Bogart and Luka the next time they played. Now Luka tries to do the same thing. And Bo says, get out of here. Yeah. So what Luka's doing right here, Tom, and so he gives when guys guard, you got to create your own space somehow.
Right.
When the guy's taller than you, so you got to figure out a way to get your shot off. So Luka wants to put his shoulder in his chest and move him a few inches so he can get this fadeaway off. But watch Bo. The last time he hit him, Bo was straight up and he pushed him back. Look at Bo's angle right here. He's not going to be able to do it. Boom, he's still there. So Luka's trying to get him out of there. Doesn't go anywhere, and then now Luka's like, "Oh crap, I'm in trouble." Look at that. Tom. Luka's 6'8".
Yeah.
And
He's giving up 6 inches. Yeah, he's
a foot above.
Oh yeah.
Not many people block that, and the reason I want to show that is if you remember the Jordan fadeaway, and that's pretty much what Luka's doing. He's doing the Keem and Jordan fadeaway, and I against bigger guys, I would do that too. Is that you can get your room and get some space to get the ball up in the air, and I think that's just a good adjustment. But I wanted to show that for tonight. Let's go other NBA. Again, we said the Charlotte Hornets. Blah, blah. How about the Utah Jazz, guys? The best team in the NBA after trading Rudy Gobert. Is that right, Terry?
Yeah.
Well,
and Donovan
they're
Mitchell.
playing like it.
Yeah.
They got the best record
How about
besides
Wow.
Milwaukee.
without them.
No Donovan Mitchell, no Rudy Gobert. Now we're the number 1 seed
Wow.
in the West.
It's crazy.
Explain that right now, Tom. If the playoffs started today, there would be no Steph Curry, no LeBron James, no LaMelo Ball,
No
good with that.
Bobo.
I'm good
no
with that.
Bobo, no Jimmy Butler,
Yeah.
no Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
That'll work itself out.
Name the top 5 players in the NBA. Let's just name them, Terry.
Name them.
Just random. I don't care whatever.
Yeah,
I
that's
just-
what
I
I'm
just want-
saying. If you got to name the top 5,
Tom, you just give me the top 5 players. Let's just throw out some names, guys.
Well,
LeBron.
yeah.
Yeah,
LeBron,
for sure. Curry.
mm-hmm.
Embiid.
Giannis,
Giannis.
Yeah.
Embiid, Butler.
Yeah,
I'm gonna count all
Butler.
these ones that aren't in the playoffs right now. Anthony Davis not in the playoffs, but look at these all these all stars. How about the Nets are the 10 seed?
Yeah, I know.
Durant. We forgot to
Yeah.
name him.
There you go.
Again, look at the star power in the East. This is when I said trash the other day, Tom. Atlanta. Do you want to go watch Trae Young play?
I do not.
Why do y'all hate Trae Young?
It's not.
I don't
I
like
don't
it.
hate him.
The young people like him.
He just shoots all the time.
Yeah, he does, and so does Ball and all that. But the young
The other day when I watched Charlotte play Miami, there wasn't but one guy out there that beat Charlotte, and he beat them by himself. And he was laughing at them as he was doing it. And that was Butler.
Yeah.
He did whatever he wanted to down the stretch to beat Charlotte. And then he would turn around looking at them and laughing.
So only 5 teams in the East have a winning record right now. 5.
Yeah.
5.
It'll
10
work.
of them-
It'll
10
work. It'll work.
10
itself
make the
out.
playoffs.
It'll work. It'll work.
Yeah, because they
itself
got to play each other. Right now they're getting hammered by the
work
West. So look, Toronto, Siakam and who? Can y'all name another player? Van Vliet.
Van Fleet. Is who I was
All
going
right,
to say.
who's the third one?
Yeah.
Anube? Is that how you say his name? Anube? Tom, name me 3 Washington Wizards. Name me 1 Washington Wizard besides
Bill.
Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
Deal.
Tom,
Yeah.
name me 3 New York Knicks.
Oh gosh, they just played them the other day. If you had to, Cleveland just played them. Dang, I could have told you. I hate it when you put me on the spot like
I
this.
can name the Bulls. Name me 3 Pacers.
Oh, that's scary. I couldn't name you any of the Pacers.
Name me 2 Brooklyn Nets not named Kyrie or Durant.
Hmm.
This is the problem when you're more of a one-team fan than a league fan. This is what happens.
I mean, they're stars.
Yeah,
All right, be honest.
yeah,
After showing you Bobo highlights, talk about
Yeah.
it. Would you not rather watch the Magic and him as opposed to the New York Knicks or the Washington Wizards or the Indiana Pacers?
Who did the Knicks get? They got somebody that was pretty. God, dang, I can't remember.
All right, so out west, real quick, we'll finish up with this. Houston and LA 2-10. Lakers. Honestly, I think the move for everyone that's best for everyone is the Hornets to trade Hayward and maybe Rozier for Roy Westbrook, so we can wipe the $40 million off our books because we're not. What are we going to do next year with Rozier and Hayward?
Same thing you're doing now.
So trade them now. Trade them both for Westbrook. Wipe $40 million off the books. It'd technically be $50 million because those two add up to 50. So you could wipe $50 million off the books, Terry, and have free agency going into next year.
I'd do it.
And you could sign somebody's going to want to play. Maybe with LaMelo. We'll see. Kings at 10. Spurs with 9. Name me between those 2 teams, Tom, 3 players.
Yeah, I know. Keep doing this too.
Yeah, I don't know anybody on the Spurs.
Well, I
really don't. Now I just named 3 Kings probably.
For fun, I looked up the Knicks. R.J. Barrett, 30 points.
Yeah, from Duke.
Yeah. 30 points.
Somebody's got to score.
Yeah,
all right,
so-
we'll be back. We'll be back in a few minutes on KDC. We got NFL to finish up. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Check out the Fall Service Call Special from Shelby Heated and Air. Shelby Heating and Air is now offering a fall service call special of just $55. But that's not all. Get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heating and Air discount on qualifying systems. Call today at 704-487-7877 and schedule your $55 service call appointment. Shelby Heating and Air. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts. Christmas at your fingertips.
It's the shopping event of the season, the Southern Christmas Show, November 10th through 20th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Enjoy a winter wonderland and find the magic of the season with frosty decor galore. Plus, shop hundreds of booths to find one-of-a-kind gifts for everyone on your list. Plan your visit and buy tickets at southernChristmasShow.com.
Let's go to the Southern Christmas Show.
The 30th anniversary sale continues at Essner Auto Sales in Shelby. Come check them out all year long with some great anniversary specials. Find out how easy it can be for you to be one of their satisfied customers. Yes, 30 years ago, Susie and Richie started Essner Auto Sales, striving to give you the best deal possible on a quality pre-owned vehicle. See them today at 417 South Post Road in Shelby, online at srautosales.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. That's Essner Auto Sales in Shelby. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles are available at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. They probably have the vehicle you've been looking for. And right now, make no payment for 60 days on the new or used vehicles. And now, take $500 off any new or used vehicle when you mention this radio ad. Yes, this radio ad is worth $500. Be sure to mention it when you arrive at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. Located at 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at classicvwgastonia.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. Do they have silver bells at Acre Enterprises? Nah. What about silver coins? Probably not. How about silver gabaloon? You better believe it, and plenty of it. Right now, 3x12 silver gabaloon is just $30 a sheet. Also, 21-foot and 26-foot silver gabaloon is available, along with 3x12 red sheets for $30. Don't forget about their quality-built carports. Compare before you buy. Acre Enterprises, 1220 Shelby Road, Highway 150 West in Cherryville, right across from Food Line. Online at acrecarports.com.
Join us for our live Sunday morning church services at 9:30 a.m. on WCSL. It's a live church service from Anthony Grove Baptist Church in Krause. And at 11 a.m. on WCSL, it's a live church service from First Baptist Church in Cherryville. And at 11 a.m. on WHS, it's a live church service of the Calvary Baptist Church in Shelby.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang.
And it's brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. Give Shelby Heating and Air a look online, shelbyheating.com.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah, I want to say one thing before you go to Kevin. Thanks to all the veterans again that's out here that have served us and done everything that, you know.
Served and sacrificed.
Yeah,
served and sacrificed.
That's it.
Yeah.
I put on this hat here for my son-in-law. He was a Marine, and he just got out a few years back. So dedication to him for what he did. And, again, my grandpa and my uncle for what they've done. So,
and the rest of our veterans, thank you
Yes.
very much. And, Terry, that's very clever for you to bring all those hats in. You had an Air Force, you had an Army, you had a Marines.
Yep, the National Guard.
So thank you to our veterans on this Veterans Day week. I wonder if they're going to do some parades today. I know that the weather was lousy last night. I don't know.
Well, you're going to have to update your hat soon. You're going to have to get a Space Force hat. Does the Coast Guard count?
Coast Guard is in the Department of Homeland Security. It's technically not in the military. It's not DOD.
So you wouldn't call one a veteran?
I would still call them.
That's
veterans.
what I was asking. That's
I
as
would
far
still
as
call them
counting.
veterans. Yeah.
All right.
So if anybody has free hats, you know I'm available. Send them to me.
Send Terry. Terry, you would look good in a Space Force hat. That's all you. NFL this week. Panthers win. After I don't even know what to think about this team.
They should have beat Atlanta twice and have 4 wins.
Yeah. My son-in-law and them went to this game, and sometimes you buy tickets that are almost like real cheap. And I mean, these were pretty darn cheap. They set up so high. He sent me pictures. He was underneath the little draw that is at the top of the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
He still got wet on account of all the rain that was coming in, but he had good seats, good view of where he was at on the field. But, I was congratulating to them. I said he must have brought them some good looks. First time they beat Atlanta, and the last 5 times they played them at home.
Well, if the dum-dum doesn't take off his helmet, they win. After he makes a tremendous catch.
Oh, in Atlanta, yeah.
It's like, how could you do something so great and so dumb within like 2 seconds?
But Atlanta, think of it, man. You're the number 1 team tied with Tampa Bay, and I guess this is how come you just put Tom Brady above it. But even if Tom Brady and them win this league, what did you win? I mean, you didn't have to do anything to win this league.
I watched that. They had
this division's terrible.
That was the Tony Romo game. Tony Romo game is supposed to be the premier game. The nationally televised game. And I watched that game, and I was like, this game is terrible.
If you lose,
terrible.
If you lose,
terrible.
I said this immediately watching there on Thursday night. If you lose to P.J. Walker and an interim coach, should you not be fired?
I'd say so. Yes. Yeah, they did. I thought they might let Baker start that game.
You've been coaching the whole year.
You're in first place.
You're in first place in your division, and you let a third, fourth string quarterback and a coach who's not been coaching the team the whole year beat you in his first week or second, whatever it is. The Atlanta coach should be fired immediately.
And
I'm not really. I think it's weird firing coaches in the middle of the season.
And they're not letting. They're not letting. I thought Baker might play this game. They didn't start Baker.
Tom, that's my next question. Is how in God's name can
he didn't come in the Thursday night game?
I'm talking about.
I know he came in the last.
Yeah, the last game.
So how does the Falcons? How do the Panthers sit there and watch Baker come in and drop 3 touchdowns on the Bengals like that, and then say, you know what, we're going to go with the guy who went 3 for 9 in the following week?
And his numbers for that game were terrible.
Well, you're talking about tanking. Are they not purposely tanking then? If you're starting P.J. Walker, how can you sit there and Sam Darnold's active this week? So now you have Darnold and Baker Mayfield active, and you're still starting P.J. Walker? Come on, the P.J. Walker thing is over. Let's please. He was 10 of 16 this week.
Yeah, I just think this guy's gonna find it very hard to go away from him. He gave him an opportunity. He's gonna stay with him.
He said the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what he's saying.
What are we talking about?
So well, you know what else that means?
They won 2 out of 3.
How can the owner GM sit there and have him give up all them picks and pay all that money to Darnold and Baker Mayfield and then be okay?
But you know what this means?
Because at the end of the year, them guys will not be with him.
Either Darnold or Mayfield will be a healthy scratch the rest of the year.
I'm telling you.
You got Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold, healthy scratch, not even active, not even in pads. That's crazy, Terry. That's
P.J. Walker was 3 of 10, 9 yards, and 2 interceptions, and got the start the next week.
He's horrible.
And won.
Yeah.
So
won.
Everybody in that stadium should be fired, Tom. Cheerleading coaches too. Like, come on.
We're gonna fire the band director.
The Panthers coach should be fired for starting a guy who went 3 for 10, right? How is that? How am I wrong on that? 3 of 10 and you got to start. Honest to goodness, I can go 3 of 10. I can go 3 of 10. Because 2 of them's going to be swing passes to McCaffrey.
He's not there anymore.
Whoever
he is. Yeah, he's gone. Just give it to your running back that rushed for 100 what?
He's not there
20 yards.
So in 2 games, P.J. Walker's went 3 of 10 and 10 of 16. So 13 of 26.
Who's the dude killing Hubbard? Is that the guy?
The one in the back?
Yeah,
Hubbard. Dante Freeman.
One of them had like 130 yards against Atlanta. Yeah.
30-some carries.
But they're pretty good. I mean, those 2 have kind of filled in where McCaffrey, did all that. Well, I mean, they haven't really left off. I mean, they got rid of McCaffrey. This guy got 130 yards. No wonder they let him go.
Right. As interim, he's been in there, what? This is his 4th game he's been in?
Yeah, something like
that. Or 3 games?
3 or 4.
He's won 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 4.
I'm going to pull up P.J. Walker.
So
this nonsense of.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they're still alive in that division race.
Well, heck yeah. If Tampa
alive.
Bay loses, they're only 1 game out of
So
first.
why would you tank when you're a game out of the division?
Wow.
At 3 and 7.
Seriously,
would you rather have a top 10 pick, Tom, or would you rather get beat by 50
well, I mean,
in the first round of the playoffs?
Just because you get a top 10 pick, I mean, look at their top 10 pick now. They were talking about him not even starting.
If the Panthers make the playoffs, Tom, their quarterback next year is whoever they still have this year. If they don't make the playoffs, they get a brand new shiny quarterback next year.
Who might not be all that great.
Who in the world wants that? When you start switching quarterbacks. It makes no sense. So don't do that. I am glad that the coach has elected to stay with P.J. Washington.
P.J.
Walker. Yeah. Well, if that's what he's going to do.
Awful.
He thinks McCaffrey still plays, and you think he stays Washington. We got our panel of experts on the Panthers today.
I just said I can complete 2 swing passes. Like, I don't care who's in there, man.
But, I mean, give him
name
credit.
a running back. You should be able to complete more than 3 passes.
I just think that, if you're the Panthers, you want to see, Baker Mayfield didn't. I would give Darnold a try one more time, would you not?
No, I'd put Baker Mayfield in there and play
I think
football.
all of them were gone. Darnold's
But Baker
gone.
didn't perform.
Mayfield's gone.
Baker did not perform at his opportunity. He just didn't perform.
So who did Baker lose to?
And then San Francisco beat him.
He lost to the good teams.
Cleveland
P.J.
beat
Walker's
him.
been playing the crappy teams. Like, Baker.
But Darnold has not had an opportunity this year. That's what I'm saying. If you're doing,
He had opportunity. Matt Rule benched him in the.
he got hurt
training
before
camp.
the season,
In
did he
training
not?
Mm-hmm.
He got hurt before the season. He got hurt in the preseason. I would give Darnold an opportunity. Here's your opportunity. One game. I mean, what's he going to be? He can't be no worse than 10 for 16 for what? 90 yards in a pick or something ridiculous. I mean, his numbers were awful. He had the one good game against Atlanta, which they lost. So he did have a good game against Atlanta the first time. But I don't know. I'd say, all right, what do we got here in Darnold? Not really sure the Baker Mayfield experiment is going to work. I mean, I would start either one of them. I'm with Kevin on this. I'm not. I mean, PJ's a nice. I mean, I think he's a good guy. I think it's been they had the one good game. But are you really going
to even be on the roster if Matt Rule wasn't the coach?
Yeah.
True or false?
Probably.
Yeah,
He wouldn't be in
probably
the NFL if Matt Rule wasn't the coach.
But as far as Carolina goes, there's a lot of stuff that they got to work on. I mean, the guy from State that's playing the line for him, he had all kind of illegal moves the whole game. I mean, he got called
See the one that
4
got 4
times.
Was he the one that had 4?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, one of them had 4 penalties,
Yeah.
and the announcers were laughing
That's
at
what
him.
I'm saying.
So Rule had Walker at Temple.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's how ridiculous this is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
I'm not saying Baker's great or Sam Darnold's great, but they're better than 3 for 10. They're better than 10 of 16, whatever it was. Like, you can't go. How you gonna go in the game and play in the NFL? We're only gonna throw the football 15 times tonight.
You know what the thing is? And I've heard some of the big boys on TV talk about. If you're Baker Mayfield, where do you go from here? If you don't get another opportunity.
Well, that's
I
what
mean,
I'm saying.
PJ Walker is playing in front of you right now. What's your next opportunity?
That's why I think Wilkes has been told to tank. He has to have been. Why would you be starting PJ Walker?
But you win.
Yeah, why would you be told to tank and then win?
Or is
Brian
everybody else?
I mean, I tell you
Brian
what.
Flores was said in Miami he was told to tank, and he kept winning.
I guess.
Brian Flores, he's in a lawsuit with the NFL.
I know.
And says the NFL, his owners told him to lose games.
You know
and
who else tried?
They tried to make him lose.
You know who old Hugh Jackson tried that?
In Cleveland.
Yeah, in Cleveland.
Yeah, he tried to back him up with that. But that's why I'm just saying, like, what reason do you have to start PJ Walker? You don't. There is no reason.
Not when you've got hurt. Yeah, not if you've got Darnold and Mayfield.
Yeah, especially if they're free to play.
Especially when the Cleveland Browns are paying Baker Mayfield to play for you.
But it depends on when they were cleared. Were they free to take all the first round snaps of the whole week? Now, if they wasn't free to do
Baker
all
obviously
that,
was. He came in and scored 3 touchdowns. Again, look at the week before. If you're the GM and your coach comes in and says, well, one guy went 3 of 10 and 2 picks, and the other guy threw 3 touchdowns. We're going to go with the guy who went 3 of 10 this week. How does any of that conversation make any sense in that building, other than someone from up top
and
saying,
adding that, there are some quarterbacks coming. I know you guys don't like C.J. Stroud out of Ohio State. I know you don't, but he's coming out.
The kid from Kentucky should be the number one pick.
There's him, and it seems like there's a couple more coming out this year that some folks you could draft. So I guess I get it. I get what I would understand that, but Zach Wilson's now just coming around. That turns out, but look at the kid out in San Francisco, Trey Lance. I mean, he was a bust anyway. Best thing that happened to him is he got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it's like he was a bust. You sold the farm for this kid, and he can't play. At least if you draft up there, Kevin, you don't have to sell the farm to get the pick. At least if it's a bust, okay, well, it's a bust. It's a first-round pick, but I just don't think that you can leverage that. I'm saying if you're a game out of the lead, I don't care how bad you win. You play to win. I don't care. Wouldn't you agree, Terry? I mean, you play to win.
Tom, the grown men on that field are playing to win, but other people within the organization might not be.
Yeah, I mean,
if Steve Wilkes was told to play P.J. Walker by someone above him, you'll get to coach next year if you coach. You'll get to pick your quarterback in the draft. And
he's not going to keep Wilkes as the coach of that team.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, if that's the case, then he definitely shouldn't be starting P.J. Walker.
He'll go out and
if Steve Wilkes doesn't think he's coming back, I don't think Steve Wilkes will be putting P.J. Walker on that field unless he thought he was coming back next year.
How far do you go, though? I mean, how far? I mean, really, how far do you go? I mean, that would be like me at the Lakers. You couldn't win at the start. Now you're 2-10, so you just forget it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, when do you say, okay, that's enough? But the worst part about Carolina is they're 3-7, and they still have a chance.
I just want
to winning this division.
P.J. Walker?
With P.J. Walker in there.
No.
You're 3-7.
Terry.
I just don't think,
you're catching the buck. Again, you're saying that you think P.J. Walker can win more games than Tom Brady going down the stretch.
I don't know. In that division, you might be able to.
That's what I'm saying.
But what I try to say is, Tepper, do you really
what
think?
Do you mean that's what I'm saying?
Do you think Tepper would not try to go out like he tried to make the big splash with the Matt Rule hire? Is he not going to try to do that again? Get him a big name in there, create a little buzz. Because Steve Wilkes he's a good guy. I think he's a good football coach.
Oh yeah.
And I like his demeanor. If I was a Panthers fan, I'd be fine with him. But I think he's going to. Oh, I need to get somebody who's a little quote unquote sexier, right? Got to get somebody who's going to make big splash.
Somebody
get people
got
talking.
A name with him.
Right. You know, so I think he might do something stupid like that again. But I think Wilkes.
Lane Kiffin to the Panthers?
Something like that. Yes, exactly, Kevin. Exactly. He would do something like that, even though I think Wilkes would be a much better coach than Lane Kiffin. I mean, I wouldn't you? I mean, have we not learned?
I don't see grown ass men listening to Lane Kiffin.
No. That's the problem. It's the thing, I'm sure Nick Saban, Urban Meyer, all these guys, they think you can talk to these grown men who are making millions of dollars like they're your son. They ain't take that.
They're making making more than you. They're bigger than you. They're playing in the NFL, which you couldn't make in the NFL. There's nothing really you can tell.
Yeah, they ain't taking that. They ain't taking that crap. I don't blame them. I mean, college kids will. They're still kids, but
right.
Them grown men ain't gonna take it.
Well, that guy controls your scholarship. He can say you can't play. You Tom, you have to wake up at 5:00 in the morning every day and come work out in my gym, or I'm going to take your school away.
Right. I know.
There's a huge difference between an NFL coach saying that I'm going to take your play.
And the younger men are the more impressionable they are.
Oh,
like when little Nicky comes to recruit you and says all his BS. I'm sure it means a lot to you as an 18-year-old, but a grown man's not listening to all that crap. He knows better.
So we're in trouble this year in the NFL, guys. This is a bad year. I mean, bad. I'm looking at these teams.
How many get in? 7?
7 in each conference. And I'm looking at these teams. I might count 5 good teams in the NFL. 15 average and 10 or 12 that are god-awful. Like, Buffalo, everybody, they're good, but their quarterback is going to have Tommy John surgery.
That's what I'm saying.
Is he out?
No, he's not out.
Done it, but he
did one of these sidearm flings.
Hold on a second. You can tell me a guy's going to have Tommy John. He's going to play this year?
Wait a minute.
After the year.
In football, you don't use that ligament. Because in baseball, you spin it this way, it turns it. In football, you spin it this way.
But you use it somewhat, not as much.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you use it though, Tom, no, when you throw it at this at all, it's a dead ligament. When you curl it at any, so when you see, and you saw the other night, Dalen Lee, he'll have elbow problems because he throws it up under. Deshaun Watson does that. That's the Cam Newton thing. So when you hurt that elbow, pitching wise, he'll have to have. They were talking about he might have Tommy John surgery. They might just let it heal, but right now he's hurt. Day to day they say, but. How do you tell a guy, Terry, who and I threw over top 3/4 whatever, and I know this for a fact, and Josh Allen, I think he played basketball. He was a basketball player, right? Those guys like Romo, you naturally do that sometimes. Because not every throw is an over-the-top line drive throw. Sometimes you have to throw it over a guy, and you have to loop it. Sometimes a defender puts his hands up in the air, Tom, and you have to sling that joker in.
Mahomes does it sometimes.
Yes. Malik Willis for Tennessee does it now too a little bit. But that's what he did. And with that, I'm concerned with that. Now, so you look at the rest of the AFC. Baltimore are so inconsistent. How do you consider? Yeah, they're going to win the Super Bowl. Tennessee, who's their quarterback? Jets, okay, who's their quarterback? Miami.
Well, hold on a second. I think you're counting out the Jets defense, Kevin. The Jets defense has come along. They've come along. I listened to that game, and I mean, I tell you, I think they're better. And now it still makes me mad that Cleveland basically said, "Here you go, Jets. Here's a game. We don't want to win. We're Cleveland." But I mean, I think the Jets defense. I listened to that game. And they've been kind of a joke for a long time. But how high have they drafted, Terry? You can't draft that high that long and still be terrible unless you just miss every draft.
Oh, yeah. Looking there in those top 7 teams,
and Garrett Wilson for them too has been outstanding. Along with Zach Wilson. I mean
the Chargers defense isn't that good.
Well, you take Baltimore, the 3 losses they got there, I think they blew every one of them games.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You can't trust them to do anything, though. None of these teams, I'm like, yeah, they're going to win every game. They're going to beat me. I would be like, go into a playoff game, and we wouldn't have a conversation like, yeah, they're definitely going to win this game.
Yeah.
Like,
if you look at those, the only one that you could say that I'm going to take and feel comfortable with was Kansas City.
I agree. Now, look at the NFC.
The Eagles are good, Kevin. The Eagles are good.
Right. I said there's probably 5 good football teams in the NFL. So Philadelphia,
Minnesota's good.
Minnesota, Bills, Chiefs. Who's your 5th team?
I would say the Ravens, even though they've kind of, for lack of better words, pissed away a couple of games.
Right now, Terry, AFC, NFC championship games.
AFC and NFC?
Who you got in championship games right now?
Buffalo against Kansas City.
All right, then Dallas
would
and who?
be that. Yeah, it would be Dallas. Ain't no doubt in my mind.
25 years.
For anybody going to sit here and say Dallas ain't one of the top teams and from the bottom, something's wrong with y'all.
Well, I think Dallas is better than Tampa Bay and Seattle.
I mean,
but they're not better. They're not better than Minnesota. They're not better than
their defense is as good as anybody
their defense
in the
is good,
NFL.
Terry. Their defense is good, Terry, but they're inconsistent. I don't think they're going to
inconsistent.
They're inconsistent as a team.
What's inconsistent?
Who have they beat?
Tell me.
Who have they beat? What? They have not dominated every game. They've struggled. Who have they beat?
We had a backup quarterback.
They lost to Tampa Bay, who's terrible.
And then when Dak comes back, we score 49.
Cincinnati's been inconsistent.
Okay.
Washington's no good.
Inconsistent.
The Rams are terrible.
Okay.
They lost to Philadelphia while they beat Detroit, while they beat Chicago. They beat Chicago.
Backup quarterback.
They beat Detroit. Congratulations. They beat Chicago, who has no defense.
Yeah, the same people that y'all
they get to play
last week.
They get to play Green Bay this week.
Would not beat Green Bay, and guess what happened? Detroit beat Green Bay.
Yeah, but they're neither one of those teams any good. Then let's see what they do against Minnesota. Let's see what they do against Minnesota in 2 weeks.
So my point of
that's what I'm interested in.
I think there's 5 overall offense and defense good teams in the NFL. Maybe. Then there's 10 mediocre that you either have a glaring weakness on offense or defense, and then there's 12 garbage. There's nothing. Looking at these playoff teams, you got Tua, Zach Wilson, and what's Ryan? Who's starting in Tennessee? Is it Tannehill or is Malik Willis starting?
I don't know. Last time I watched him, Willis was playing.
Seattle, you picking Geno Smith to win the Super Bowl? Picking Daniel Jones.
I hate Pete Carroll, but I tell you what, he gets the most out of his guys. He gets the most out of his guys.
He does.
You picking Kirk Cousins to win the Super Bowl? So you're looking at this, and this is what somebody said the other day. He said Brady's going to sit here and go 9-8, win the division, and then get Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, and Daniel Jones in the playoffs to go to the Super Bowl.
I wouldn't sleep on the Vikings. I think the Vikings are
Terry. So, well, if it started today, it would be so the Eagles
Giants aren't bad either.
Eagles would get the bye. Then Vikings would host the 49ers. Seahawks would host the Giants. It'd be Tampa hosting Dallas in round 1.
Yeah, that's right. Only one team gets a bye now. You're right. I forgot about that. Because under 6, 2 teams would get a bye. Now only one team gets a bye. Yeah, that's big.
So only the Eagles would get a bye, or Buffalo or Kansas City on the other side. So just that's what somebody was pointing out, that Tom Brady could still go like 8 or 7-10 and win the division, and then have to play like Kirk Cousins and Daniel Jones in the playoffs.
Daniel Jones is playing better, though. He's playing better. The Giants are playing a lot better this year. They're a lot better football team.
All right, y'all want to pick some scores? Let me look, make sure I ain't got any other fun news or notes for the week on anything. Tom, if people keep messing around, Deshaun Watson's going to be in a playoff hunt when he comes back. These teams are so bad.
Are done.
I don't know. Wait a minute. You just told me the Panthers could win the division and beat Tom Brady, but the Browns are done.
Who's leading our
with
division?
The same record.
Kevin. Who's winning our division? Baltimore at 6-3. Okay. Who's leading the division that the Panthers are in? Tampa Bay. What are they? 4-5.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we talking about?
I'm talking about.
I'm talking
about the GOAT. You're talking about Lamar Jackson.
If Baltimore was 4-5, I'd say you still have a chance. Baltimore's not 4-5; they're 6-3.
Browns got a better record than the Panthers.
And I tell you, if they play defense like they did against Cincinnati, they've been inconsistent. They've been very inconsistent defensively. So I just don't trust their defense, even though they've got a lot of good players on it. And Denzel Ward coming back from his concussion, that's going to help them. But I just don't see that defense holding up. They got to play Buffalo. I don't see them holding up. Well, they do. I was worried about the Tampa Bay game. I think they got a good chance to beat them, but I don't know if they can beat Cincinnati like that again. I mean, I just think they hit the setup in that game. I mean, they just pounded them. We'll see.
They go 8-9 this year.
8-9 is not going to get you in the playoffs.
No. Where was I? Oh, your quarterback rankings: Young, Stroud, Levis, Tanner McKee of Stanford, Ugalagale.
Young's so little.
Hooker is six. How do you say the Clemson quarterback, Tom? You said you've been.
Ugalagale.
There you go. He's 5th. Hooker 6th. Richardson 7th from Florida. Van Dyke.
Young's really good, but I don't know. He's so little, man.
Stetson,
you know what I mean? I don't know.
They said Stetson Bennett was older than Joe Burrow.
Bennett's, I don't see.
Same age.
He might
Joe
be
Burrow.
A career backup. I don't see him. Making.
So there's your quarterback, possible quarterbacks if you were looking to.
It's not a good pick for quarterbacks.
CJ will be a good quarterback, and he's tall. He can sling it. He's got the big arm. I know you got. Oh, he's from Ohio State. I think he's going to be good.
It's just
when he is good. I just want you to acknowledge it.
Well, what's your definition of good? I'm telling you, the Bears quarterback's bad.
If they can throw it 75 yards, he's good.
If he gets to start one game, he's a good quarterback now.
Can we do our picks?
Justin Fields is awful.
Can we do our picks? Can we do the picks?
75 yards throwing it don't mean you're a good quarterback.
It's getting late. Let's do our
59% completion. All right. Tom wants to pick these games so bad. Tomorrow morning from Munich. Now, Giselle's probably pissed she missed this game, isn't she? She could be in Munich, Germany. They could go push over to go talk to these Germans, Tom.
It'd be pretty tough to marry up for Tom Brady.
There's going to be some questionable. I was about to say, between the two of them, who's going to marry a more closer to their level person? Will she be able to find a GOAT NFL best player of all time, or will he be easier to find a supermodel?
The older guy since that. The older guy has the advantage.
The 45-year-old multimillionaire can walk into the Victoria's Secret party and pick up a 20-year-old.
Probably.
Can she go pick up Zach Wilson? Yes.
Probably.
But can she get Joe Flacco? No.
She can get Joe Flacco.
He's too elite for her.
Joe Flacco would leave his wife today.
Joe Flacco's too elite for her.
He would leave his wife today. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Obviously, Tom, one man's problem is not, he might not want that.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, the silliness. They're in Germany this week. There should be some questionable officiating in East Germany. So the Bucks are 2.5-point favorites over Geno Smith. This is unfair to the Seahawks. It's like a 3-day trip from Seattle to Germany.
Munich is not in East Germany, by the way. It's actually in southern Germany. And I think that the Seahawks will win this game.
I'm also taking the Seahawks. I think this is dumb on the NFL anyway.
Which part?
Traveling like this.
Munich is in southern Germany.
Seattle to Munich flight time. I'm going to Google that. That's insane. Like, usually they just make the East Coast teams go that. But, like, Germany's further away than London is. Like, and they've been going to London. 12 and a half hours, Terry. The Seattle Seahawks have to travel 12 and a half hours to play a 3-hour football game, or a 40-minute technically football game.
That's what I said. NFL keeps messing up.
60 minutes. That's just terrible. I'm picking the Bucks. Tom?
I've already picked Seattle.
Oh, sorry. Vikings at Bills. Now, this one's in Buffalo. Two teams that like the cold. Josh Allen is day-to-day, they say. Vikings in Orchard Park. Tommy, who you got?
Vikings. I listened to that game last night. I think the Bills may stumble here again.
Bills win. They playing at home outside. Vikings are too used to being inside now.
They play outside, Terry. They built an outdoor stadium 3 years ago. They don't play in the Metrodome anymore.
Well, they might as well.
Pay attention to a different team besides the Cowboys.
Used to playing inside.
We have our panel of experts here.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I hate doing this because you don't know if he's playing. I'll go with Vikings no matter what for this one because I don't know if Allen's playing. Game in hell this week. Lions and Bears.
Bears.
You get to watch the Detroit Lions and Ohio State quarterback Terry try to play NFL football. Who you got?
I got the Bears.
Outside, we'll go Bears.
Yeah, the Lions do play inside.
Three people picked the Bears. I just want y'all.
I also picked Detroit last week, Tom.
You did.
Yes,
so you'll pick Detroit to win outside in Green Bay, but not outside in Chicago.
That's right.
This is a weird football season. Broncos at Titans. Broncos are the dogs here. Titans favored by 2.5 at home. That seems a little low. Don't you get 3 at home?
No, Titans win.
Titans. Russell Wilson's been a joke.
Tennessee should win this game as well. Trevor Lawrence in Kansas City. That'll work out well. Yeah. Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs. I might give Jags a chance at home, but not at Kansas City.
Tommy, the over-under in this game is on 49. How is that even possible? Should that not be way over?
Because the Browns won't play any defense. How are they going to cover? How are they going to cover Tyreek Hill?
No, that's what I'm saying. Shouldn't it be like 50-something?
I mean, they got the talent to cover Tyreek Hill, but they won't. They'll be a blown coverage. He'll be running by himself for like 3 touchdowns.
Dolphins win.
Yeah, at home. I'd really like to see the Browns win this game and get back in it, but I just don't think they'll go down there and win.
We've picked too many 3 across the boards on this one. I'm going to add a little incentive for the Browns to win this week, Tom. You've got Jacoby Brissett, revenge game. Wasn't he a Dolphin?
Jacoby doesn't want revenge on anybody. Jacoby's too nice a guy to get revenge on anybody. I do like his maturity. I do like Jacoby Brissett's
I can
maturity.
see them running Nick Chubb into the ground in this game, though, down there, trying to keep Tyreek Hill off the field, run as much time as possible.
They haven't been, I mean,
we'll go with Browns in this one. Even though I don't feel good about that at all. At all. Dolphins should win, but we've picked like 4-3 across the boards. Texans and Giants.
Giants.
Can Davis Mills beat Daniel Jones?
Yeah, Giants at home.
Giants at home for me. Another nominee for God. There's a lot of games in hell this week. We got a triple header. Saints and Steelers. You watch Kenny Pickett and who's starting? Is Andy Dalton still starting, or is Jameis back to starting?
Who cares? Saints will win. Who cares?
Saints.
Jeff Saturday's debut.
I'm not
Let's get to that
picking the Superdome to win in Pittsburgh. We'll go with that one. We'll go with Steelers on that one.
Somebody said, like, if Jeff Saturday does well, this can pave the way for a player to go to coach quicker. So everybody's saying this. A lot of people are saying it's dumb. He's never been a coach. But I hear he's very inspirational. So let me go with Jeff Saturday. He's going to win his debut coaching over the
Colts.
Raiders. Colts.
Raiders win.
I'll go Raiders with this one. So there's all kinds of arguments about that, Tom. Like, who's more qualified to coach a team? Like the third assistant on the San Antonio Spurs or Steve Nash? So like everybody throws Nash on the bus. Like, he's the 2-time MVP and played point guard. He knows everything that went on the court. And then like this situation, like with Saturday, did you see the
center? Yeah.
Did you see him arguing? Did you see the video with him and Peyton Manning they were showing this week? So Saturday used to audible out of Peyton's calls to run calls, and they were getting an argument on the sideline about it. And Peyton was telling him, he said, "I'm calling the effing plays," and Jeff's like, "Well, run the effing ball," and they just went back and forth about it. Yeah. But again, the player to coach, I don't have almost any issues. I think those guys should be I think every coach should be a backup quarterback. The backup quarterbacks know everything.
Kubiak was good.
Every one of the backup quarterbacks, they know, and they're not hurt. Could Romo not come to the field and coach? Tell me he couldn't be the offensive
Romo's not a backup.
Right. But would you not, like, what does he ever say anything on TV that you wouldn't think? Sit there and say, he shouldn't be coaching the Cowboys. He's got more plays than North Turner's got, Terry. Mm-hmm. It's just weird.
Romo knows. I mean, just listen to him do color. Well, here he comes. He's coming up. He knows who's going to blitz, who's not going to blitz. I mean, he's very
How
very
valuable
good.
would he be on the sideline?
He's good.
Almost as a defensive coordinator.
I think he's too happy of a guy, though. He's too happy doing what he's doing.
He likes he likes it. He enjoys it.
Yeah, he enjoys what he's doing now. Yeah.
Has fun with it.
So why go ruin your life by being a head coach who everybody hates?
Right.
Yeah.
I just, again, the players, the coaching thing, like I would, yes, let them try, let them do it, and to hate. Bill Belichick's son is out there coaching. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Come on. That's another argument. Cowboys, Packers, Cowboys in Green Bay.
Yeah, Cowboys.
Dallas should win. If the Packers can't beat who they got beat with Detroit, they better not beat Dallas. Rams hosting the Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Is Stafford out? Yeah, Stafford's out. Wofford's starting. Cardinals with the win.
Wrong.
John Wofford does have as many playoff wins as Dak Prescott, Terry. You know that, don't you? Yes. Yes is the answer.
49ers win.
Chargers. 7-point dogs.
49ers with the win on that one. And then Monday Night Football, Commanders at Eagles.
Eagles.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. That's been another Saturday morning sports talk here at KTC Broadcasting. Remember, Friday night games, we've got Chase at Reedsville on WAGY. We've got Crest at South Point on WOHS. West Charlotte at Kings Mountain will be on WCSL. And Tom and the Burns Bulldogs will host the Salisbury Stakes. Hornets. Friday night on YouTube. See you guys next week. KTC Broadcasting.
You don't see too many like me, cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you want to be me instead of you, cause I